It's another beautiful Thursday morning, and that means the weekend is just around the corner. A good morning to you all. You are welcome to the Koko Digest Morning Show. I am your host, Yaira Awuno. We're coming to you live from the studios of Clock TV. And you can also catch us on GoTV channel 184. And if you're not in the comfort of your home, you can join us via social media on Facebook and YouTube. Just search for Clock TV and join in the live stream here. Now, as always on the Koko Digest Morning Show, the conversations are always interesting and enlightening. As on the lifestyle segment, we're going to be discussing or even going to learn how to cook, traditional meals, our very local meals that we indigenous to us as Ghanaians and maybe some African countries as well, with a modern twist. And then on the main discussion, we're going to be talking about the health facilities, regulatory agency, and some of the things they're going to be doing when it comes to the health facilities we have in the country. Business and sports would also be bringing us sports news, as well as always. And now let's take our motivational quote for today. As the weekend approaches, we do our best to motivate ourselves and our viewers as we enter into the weekend to, guide ourselves in our jams and, enjoyments. And today's quote is by Bill Clinton, and he is the 42nd president of the United States of America. And he says, if you live long enough, you'll make mistakes, but if you learn from them, you'll be a better person. If you live long enough, you'll make mistakes, but if you learn from them, you'll be a better person. Now, this quote offers a profound reflection on the role of mistakes in personal growth and human development. He acknowledges that no one goes through life without error. Mistakes are an inevitable part of human experience. However, what truly matters is not the mistake in itself, but the attitude and response that follow it. Clinton suggests that every misstep carries within it an opportunity for self-discovery and transformation. When we take responsibility for our actions and seek to understand what went wrong, we turn failure into a powerful teacher. Learning from our mistakes fosters resilience, self-awareness, and compassion. These are qualities that make us wiser and more grounded individuals. Ultimately, the quote is a call to embrace imperfection with humility, and it reminds us that life's greatest lessons often come disguised as setbacks, and that growth is a continuous process shaped by both our successes and our failures. True strength lies not in never failing, but in rising each time we do with greater understanding and purpose. I hope that this quote has, motivated us to do some introspection and retrospection. Every failure that we've met in our lives, let's go back and look at our attitudes towards them. Let's renew our minds. Let's take, better steps when it comes to the setbacks in life. Because as Bill Clinton said, if you learn from these mistakes, you become a better person. Now, before we go into the online and print review segments, let's take our weather forecast for today. So let's have it displayed and then we can move forward. Now, the weather forecast is from the Ghana Meteorological Agency, and today it says that mist or fog patches will form over some areas along the coastal, hilly, and forest zones during the early hours of the day, with partly cloudy conditions dominating most parts of the country this morning, and sunny weather with a few cloud developments will prevail over the entire country as the day goes by. However, cases of thunderstorms or rain of varying intensities are expected over portions of the southern half, most especially western, eastern, Ashanti, and Oti regions from this afternoon into the evening hours. So let's take note of that. If you are yet to leave the house, please be strapped with an umbrella or a raincoat. If you are driving and the clouds are starting to form, you can offer somebody a lift. Let us also make sure to keep safe, as the weather seems to be in favor of the rains in this season as well. Now, let's prepare for our online and print review. So welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show. And if you're just tuning in, it's time for our online and print review. And I have my co-host here with me in the persons of Mr. Peter Insia and Miss Miriam Abna Adede. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? The weekend approacheth.
Divine selection.
Up and Grateful is not here today.
Just at the corner. But I mean, the weekend is just view once.
Right? So, view once. You blink twice and we're back here. Right. So what's happening? What's happening in our world these days?
As well, a lot has been happening over the weekend and into this week, and especially with a national conversation that has started with a young girl we saw visibly very upset about the fact that she had to cut her hair before she's being enrolled into a secondary school in Ghana, and this has sparked up a national conversation because people are trying to understand how keeping your hair affects your education as a young girl, and other people are also asking that GES, reviews this strict regulation that requires females to cut their hair. And we're in this country when this Rastafarian in a secondary school also took his school to court or sued the school because they were requesting that he cuts his hair.
More
Yeah. And unfortunately for the school, they lost. And the boy also came out with flying colors. Currently, he's not in Ghana. He's outside Ghana pursuing his degree program. And so that's the young girl we are seeing on our screen. And you can tell that she's not happy about the fact that she has to cut her hair. And it was so emotional watching this.
I mean, conversations about this have come up every now and again about the fact that we Africans have to cut our hair when we are going to our second cycle, institutions. And yet when the foreigners, the Asians, Caucasians come in, they are not required to cut their hair. And, when conversations come up about this, it's always about the fact that we were colonized and there seems to be a mentality around that. And it's as though, I think there are even some theories that talk about the fact that the African hair is usually not viewed as beautiful. So colonialists were encouraging us, our ancestors at the time, to cut our hair because of the management and just for the fact that it was unappealing. Then growing up, I think we used to ask our parents and they tell us that when we do our hair and we put too many ribbons inside, it distracts us from education and the rest. But what about the people with, let me even use your wig as an example. People with wigs, with their hair that looks like the wig, this long, and they have to study, they write exams, they become, big people and the rest. Are they distracted by their hair? So I think it has to come up that we should think about something to do to it.
Yeah, before Peter comes in, there was this woman in our neighborhood who had this young girl growing up. She kept her hair throughout, infancy till when she was about to get into secondary school, and people kept asking her, Obanoko school, anything. She was like, she's not going to trim it. She would rather speak to the authorities so that they allow her, because the head of her daughter is not nice. Like the shape of her daughter's head is not nice. And so I feel keeping the hair also builds one's identity and confidence. Yeah. It is something they are used to. So we need to think about the psychological effect it has on the child. I have my hair on, and then when I get to secondary school, I have to cut everything.
So because of that, even some parents will just after maybe when they start school, they start cutting the hair till they are done with SHS. And some people will say it's just hair, but there's more to it.
I mean, so let's break it down. This is about discipline and uniformity. Understand? So in our various SHS schools, we have students there wear the same uniform, some same sandals. It's about discipline and uniformity. So it's not all about you keeping your hair. And I beg to differ on that point because, when you go to school with long hairs, the facility over there are not favorable. How are you going to keep the hair as a young girl going to SHS with your hair on? You have to go to the salon, washing it and all that in order to keep it neat. the facilities there are not enough, are not adequate. We wouldn't support that thing. And then coming to academic side, it's about academics. You're going to learn unless you have medical reports that indicate that when you trim your hair, you're going to have infection or whatever it is. But then when we allow some of these things, it will end up going to be like a beauty challenge instead of academics. Now imagine the schools do not have such rules that you have to trim your hair before you come to school, and we allow these kids. You can imagine the number of hair, the type of haircuts that people will put on and go to school. You understand? So this is about uniformity and discipline.
Okay,
unless you have medical issues. For that one, it is pardonable.
Right.
Imagine having kids with their hairs on the kind of hairstyles, even with corporate works and all that. You are not allowed to put. When we started our service, we were told, ladies, you can't put on any hairstyle to work. You understand? The same thing applies. Why? Because it's not about beauty contest or all that. It's about academics. And you know how kids are. You know how kids can behave sometimes. Even when we were in school, there was this haircut we call Amelie or something. You shave and you leave. So, I mean, if they don't regulate it and they just allow it that, you can keep your hair on and all that, it will turn to a different thing altogether.
Okay, Peter, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
The Westerners brought formal education to Africa.
Okay.
Do they cut their hair?
No.
No.
Why?
Is it hindering the academics?
No.
Do they not even have the most outrageous looking hairstyles sometimes when you watch the movies to class? So, where from the uniformity matter?
So why is that the Western?
I'm coming. One more question.
Okay.
When we were all in SHS, weren't there standby barbering shops beside the schools?
Yes.
So, if you are going to speak about, maintenance, couldn't there be a salon on standby? Because when the house mistresses decide to go for inspection and do debunking, they line us all up to the barbering salon.
See.
Now, I remember remedial classes. There's one of those private schools that also operates as SHSs. They had specific rules for your hair. No extra extensions like what I have on. You just braid your cornrow. One unique, quiet style that does not draw too much attention. It is not going to also cause you to be fidgeting. It's just, say, all back.
Yeah.
And you come to school. Is that not something we can employ?
Yeah. See, there's one thing. Before I come to that, there's one thing too about hygiene. Now, I'm super excited you also have your hair on. How many hours does it take for you to fix your hair? The amount involved. We are talking about students.
Yeah.
They are in the boarding house. Their parents are not there. They are left alone to take care of their hair by themselves. And you know how hours are spent fixing the amount and all that. Even putting that one aside, you spoke about the Western world. Now we have different cultural backgrounds. You understand? There are issues related to, that's their natural hair. That is their natural hair. No, that is their natural hair. And then when it comes to
what was the girl cutting?
There is always this bias when it comes to Westerners and then
please watch the video again. Was she cutting extension? It was hair growing out of her scalp.
But then you can see she's very young. How can this young lady take care of her?
Is wrong with
we don't have those facilities in our schools.
We have barbering shops. Salons can be put up.
Times have changed, right? The previous things we used to do or the understanding we had with haircuts, we need to re-examine it. Even private schools now allow people to, not even now.
Yeah, private schools, yes.
And they are doing well. They learn.
And they go to the better
I understand, but the hygiene is what we are talking about. So there's a school where I live, it's a private school. They sat most of the kids to come home to shave their head because there's this outbreak, yes, a year or something.
Yeah, bed bugs.
They can't control.
It is in the school. It's not it's not a hair problem.
See, some of these things we have to analyze this.
The lice and the bed bug situations are usually in the schools. Even with the schools that we've all cut our hair, there were bed bug
we're
issues.
eating on our beds
now,
and other things.
You know, with the conversation about the salons being on standby, this could be a form of employment for a lot of people in the TVET training. Now, if the school, you know, there's an uprise in girl-child education, meaning that there's going to be more girls. If let's say they're allowed to braid their hairs, I mean, 2 or 3 salons near every school. That's employment for everybody. And for maintenance of your hair, you bath, you wash it.
Ghana being a highly religious country, I don't know why we are trying to go against the word of God. Because 1 Corinthians chapter 11,
we have
verse 15 says, "But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given for her a covering." So we should keep our hairs as, you know, even growing up, your mom will tell you that, "Obadi, may you tea," because it's, you know, like men
we
love...
African women, we shouldn't take glory down.
So why do some women tend to shave? They cut their hair.
Maybe they are
They are not
tired.
in schools. They are tired. So it means that
No, that is a choice they make, but the imposition is where the problem is.
So the thing is, it is school for 3 years.
No, it
I've
starts
kept
from
my hair
primary
for like
school.
over 10 years, and I have to cut my hair because of 3 years.
And so the same thing happens. My younger sister, when she was in JHS, she had her hair on and all that. So we started telling her, when you go to SHS, they'll cut it. So you just tell them, you can have your hair and all that thing on when you're in primary school. But see, we are talking about academics. I understand
How does it affect the academics? That's what I don't understand.
So already we have issues in our schools that we say we don't have enough, you know, teachers when it comes to our health and all that. Now, there are issues related to the fact that when kids, you know, kind of not feeling well in schools, these are issues we are not done with. And then when you add this, when this hair issue...
Because you're a man.
No.
I have a question for him, but let me remind you about now I'm really confused. Please do send your comments. We want to know what you think about this hair issue, especially when it comes to second cycle institutions. Send your comments to our WhatsApp number displayed onto your screens or to our YouTube or Facebook live stream. Peter, I have another question for you. I don't know how old you were when you started developing a beard, but when you were in SHS, you know, you were there with guys, right? Yeah. And some of them were fairly hairy. Yeah. Every 2 weeks, their beard is, and then the male teachers will be on your necks, go and shave your beard, you're looking, and even punish you. How did that feel?
I mean, it's a way of instilling discipline.
I'm asking you how it felt. We understand the discipline. Yes. This is hair growing out of your face. You don't particularly have control over it. Yes. After 2 weeks, you start looking, you know, like a grown man, though you are probably just a 15-year-old boy. And the teachers being on your neck as though you are pulling the hair out for it to look that way. What kind of effect did it have on you and even some of your mates? That's what I want us to talk about.
Basically, it did not have any negative effect because if you were in the house, those were the same instructions your parents were going to give to
even the way our parents behaved with the boys. But it's hair. It's just growing.
So you have to trim it, keep it nice. I remember this morning someone was asking me why
keeping it nice?
No. See, the same thing applies. Let's relate it to the use of mobile phones. Then we can allow students to use mobile phones. Since we are in a digital world, you have to use mobile phones for research and all that. But then we said they shouldn't use the mobile phones because the focus is on education. Understand that the hair does not prevent them from, you know, learning and all that. But you should understand kids of nowadays that when I go to school with
parents and grandparents.
There's been this competition. Already, you know, students are taking dubious amounts from their parents that they say they should pay this. And then it happens that, okay, it is open that you can leave your hair on and go to school, braid any style that you want. It will become a competition instead of learning and all that.
100 CDs.
I understand, but
we are just saying that it shouldn't be, you know, forced on these students. There should be moderate policies to, you know, allow students to have braids on. It's just that we have a specific braids we are going with. If it's all back, everyone should look at the excitement we the ladies, we have, anytime they ask us to, like we know we are done with secondary school, we are exiting, like we have our hair, we don't want to trim our hairs. Like, look at the excitement.
Towards WASI, then they are growing their hair out. Then these teachers wickedly will come and
they should
debunk you.
understand that psychologically is, having an effect on students.
And you see, Miriam mentioned a lady in her neighborhood that has a daughter. Yeah. You're talking about the cost. Now, every parent with a daughter whose hair has to be taken care of and whatnot, they know what it involves.
Yeah.
So with that being in mind, the kids cannot go and use that as a means to take exorbitant fees. Like I said, with the school, I remember sorry, I mentioned your name. But basically, it's just the natural hair braided into all back. What we usually put under the wigs, right? The ones that we don't like to show people. But this one is just your hair, no extension in addition. It is less expensive compared to what I have on with the extensions. Yeah. So these are things that are not exactly outrageous. It is doable. It's just that we need to decolonize ourselves. Yeah. You are saying it's not nice. Why is it not? What makes it not nice? When you see white men, Asians, Hispanics and whatnot with their beard, nobody says it's not nice. So why is it that it's happening to African hair?
Yeah, African.
Because of the perception, the idea.
So we need to cleanse it. So it starts with you.
For me, my point is just basically simple. Unless it is about culture or something like religious background, like the Rastafarian issue she made mention of. Apart from that, this is about discipline and uniformity. If you go to Rome, do what the Romans do.
So if you are talking about uniformity, then it means equity is there, right? Equality is there. And so when the Westerners also come into our schools, they should also cut their hair.
They do so.
They don't. Go to Achimota school. They don't.
My friend. But we have a comment here. This one is from Alma, I think. It says, "Hi, Clog TV. Concerning the hair issue, in SHS1, I agree with the guy. Private JHS allows the students to grow their hair, but public do not. Why don't we say the JHS in public schools should keep their hair? Also, with the texture of our hair and in a boarding school, we can't allow students to spend hours on their hair in boarding school. Lastly, the texture of the white child's hair is different from ours, so theirs is naturally relaxed, ours are not." Let me not. So I don't understand the comparison, and they also hardly go to boarding schools. They have boarding schools in the Western world. Those are more expensive for the rich kids. Well, thank you very much for your comment. Yes. Let's move forward, else we'll keep going back and forth on this. Me too. As you mentioned, religious. So maybe the parents too should use the memory verse you gave. It's the crowning glory, so we too will not cut it. It's a sin.
Right.
So what else is trending?
You won't go to that. So yesterday was exactly 16 years the Ministry of Foreign Affairs got bent, 22nd October 2009. So my question this morning is basically, what did we learn from that incident? Apart from what happened in 83, we've had major fire incidents in this country. What have we learned? Even Tuesday, we saw another one. This year alone, there's been a number of fire incidents in this country. But this particular one was the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where 10-story building was, burnt down. All important documents lost. What did we learn as a country? And now this morning, too, I would like to take this opportunity to say that the Ghana National Fire Service have been doing very well, the personnel. Enough of the abashment. We should rather focus on the tools they have, the tools they are working with. When was the last time Ghana provided, fire tenders for the National Fire Service? I remember during the vetting of the current Interior Minister, Honorable Mutaka, he made mention that the last major retooling of fire tenders for the National Ghana Fire Service was in 2014, over a decade. Let me ask, Yaira, would you use a car for like 10 years? You would definitely change it. Or even for 10 years, you definitely change it.
Yeah.
Every day, every now and then, we hear fire incidents. But it looks as if our solutions, we wait for things to happen. Our solutions are rather, they are reactive, not preventive. It's like we wait for it to rain before we mend our ceilings and all that. There's pressure, so we always give short-term solutions. You understand? So even with this, my plea is that government, and I know they have measures in place, it should be fast. They should be fast about it. Anytime politicians hear that there is fire outbreak, what they do is go there, donate rice and other things to them, instead of helping or lobbying for government to get, fire tenders, the tools that help the National Fire Service to be able to combat fire. They won't do that. They go there, give them rice, give them the sweet talk and all of that. Just imagine a widow, a woman who lost his husband for some years, and then has been able to gather money to go for things to come and sell. And all she wake up to hear is that the store has been burnt down. Look at the emotions. Yeah. A lot of people are walking around here in Ghana, in Accra especially, very confused and traumatized because of fire incidents. They went to borrow money, took loans to stock their shop, and unfortunately, it burnt down. What are we doing as a country? We want to compete with the Western world every blessed day. Every blessed day we compete. We do comparison with the Western world. But we are not doing the things that befit that. When you go to the Western, we have aeroplanes, firefighters and all that. Imagine using a fire tender which is over 10 years to fight. It is very serious. Yeah. What transpired on Tuesday, we heard that many people have set stores on fire hydrants, which is not fair. And then these fire hydrants were set up way back in the 1957s. It's very serious. I think we have to look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I understand how passionate you are about this, but I always say that it boils down to our individual, behaviors towards preventing fire outbreaks in our various homes. What precautions are we taking as people in this country? We shouldn't always wait to put all the burden on the fire service or the Ghana National Fire Service to fight our fire. And what are we doing that causes the fire outbreak in the first place? We should also look at, some preventive measures we can put in place as humans, as individuals from our basic or various homes to prevent fire outbreaks.
So there are also theories that some of these fire outbreaks are for insurance fraud. So some people will,
intentionally.
Yes, intentionally is the word I'm looking for. I was going to say shut up. So some people intentionally set these fires to get money from the insurance covers and whatnot. And then also, I think that our enforcement is very lacking. Because I remember seeing posts about how somebody wanted to start up a shop. I think it's Culture Shock, where they went to one of the Western countries, wanted to start up a shop, and was told that they have to go through a whole line of processes to be able to get a space to sell. But here, you can just, if it almost looks as though you can just go and get a place anywhere, pay some money to one or two people. As you're saying, why are there shops on fire hydrants? These are supposed to help these Ghana National Fire Service personnel and officials to be able to fight these fires. But here is the case. Somebody has a whole shop around it, and the hydrants might even be inside the person's kiosk. And it's begging the question, what is happening then?
Yeah. Who permits them to even put up their shops there? That's the issue.
So it boils down to the law enforcement. We have the laws beautifully sitting on papers, but how to enforce them? That is a problem. And we can't keep on like this. As of December 2024, according to the Ghana National Fire Service, Ghana had only 1,832 fire hydrants nationwide. What is our population currently? Over 34 million. And then only 1,035 were in good conditions, leaving 797 unserviceable and all of that. And then when you come to the fire tenders, total of 248 fire tenders, only 115 to 155 are operational. 133 were out of commission as of 2024. You go to places and you see these fire tenders. It has turned to fire a tourist attraction just there. I mean, it is serious. And then when situations like this happen, we tend to abash these personnel. You can't work without the appropriate tools.
Yeah.
You can't work without them. And so it is high time we provide them with the necessary tools. When we understand that they have the necessary tools and they are not working, that is when we can go after them. But right now, we can all attest to the fact that they lack the tools. They lack the tools for 10 years. But there are some,
more.
Yeah.
Because I remember one of the conversations with one of the officials from the Ghana National Fire Service. He mentioned that some of the trucks, fire trucks and other vehicles that they have are over 10, 15, almost 20 years. And how is this? And sometimes they themselves are the ones who, do the servicing. Sometimes they rely on support from other bodies, but they are not really getting that much funding.
You'll be complaining that we called the Ghana National Fire Service. It took like 3 hours before they got there. Are you thinking of their fire?
Hydrants,
they will start it and it will be there. They will start. They have. It's like it's funny, but then it's a serious matter.
Yeah.
So we have to do better. Then we expect investors and all that. For me to spend my hard-earned money trying to open a shop, and the next thing I hear is it has.
Yeah. You, the shop owner, you should also do your checks. You should do your research before you set up your business, because you cannot just go and set up on a fire tender, just as we are all saying, and expect that something happens and your shop will be there. So
there should be more of an education. They should educate them, and then they should punish like offenders. They should bring them to book so we get to know, this fire outbreak was caused by Akosia Mansa because she had faulty electrical, she didn't use the right cables and all that. She's been imprisoned or she's been fined this amount. It will serve as a deterrent. Always it will happen and we'll be on the National Fire Service, they'll bring report and nothing happens. We face the same issues every blessed day.
Then I also think that as a people, we need to exercise the voices of the masses, in the sense that a fire outbreak has occurred in a market. The government demarcated that place as a market. So why not put pressure on them to make it an ultra-modern market where, you can put up facilities to prevent these things. But you would rather find that the stakeholders involved are delaying. The people too are in a hurry to recoup. So they go and rebuild. That's what we saw with the previous, the fire outbreak that happened a few months ago. They started rebuilding the same wooden structures again. And it's like, why wouldn't you rather stand on the officials to put up what you need there so that the National Fire Service too can come in whenever, and then also the risk of the fires will be reduced? But no, we're not doing that.
The voice of the masses, even if they put pressure on authorities or stakeholders, if they say they are not ready to complete it, what can we do?
We see, I follow some of the international stories, and I think, was it in France? One of these European countries, right? And it was about farmers. These farmers went on a protest. They took their bulldozers and whatnot, dumped manure in the streets as a form of protest. If you like, come. So they know the power they hold, and they know that whatever it is they are asking is definitely is not maybe something outrageous, but it's like maybe the government is not listening. So let us put some action in there. Let them know that we are serious. If something like, I'm not saying we should do the same, but exercise the fact that we are a democracy. It's the people. If the people come out to say, we put you here to help us, to do certain things for us, so we want to see you do it, it should work. It's unfortunate Ghanaians are not united. We'll always everybody's seeking self-interest, yes. We'll politicize it, and so that's where we've gotten to as a country.
But then we can still, like you said, we can still push. So there's been this phrase, who watches the watchman? Who watches the regulators? It's the same people, Ghanaians. We put them into positions to head and take control of certain things. And so if we see that things are not moving on well, we, the same people, can put pressure on them. Like Mimi said, it's about, we are not united, but still, we can still do it. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't affect the person in the office. Your goods over maybe 10,000 or 100,000 gets banned. They will come, they give you rice or give you like 2,500 and expect that you have to be free. And no, you have to put pressure on them.
Right. Even speaking on that again, there was a story that was online, over 35 dead in a Niger Delta fuel explosion in Nigeria. And when I read about it, they said, so the fuel tanker, veered off the road, and then fuel was leaking. The locals went to fetch some of the fuel. And then there was an explosion that cost their lives. And it's all just the rate at which poverty is making people take certain decisions. You want to fetch fuel.
Who does
Highly, is it flammable or inflammable? Something flammable, liquid.
Highly inflammable.
Inflammable.
Inflammable, yes, inflammable. Inflammable is for the liquids. Highly inflammable liquid. And you want to fetch it because you think you can. Okay, so we have a video. You think you can go and monetize it, sell it, and get something, and they don't know that it would explode.
How much are you even going to get?
It's hunger.
Did you say they don't know? They know. They know it will explode.
Yes. This is not like
Some people may not.
It's just like Galamsey. They know what they are getting themselves into.
A similar issue happened in Ghana. This is why it was a truck full of beer. So see, I mean, it has to start with the mind. The reset, I think, has to start with the mind.
But Peter, how do you reset a hungry man's mind?
That's another question.
Even taking a page out of Miriam and Clement's books, going into the Bible. Yeah. When Jesus was preaching to people, he added food. Coming to tell me, don't do this, but what I'll eat tomorrow, I don't know where I'm going. Somebody thought this is an opportunity to get one bucket and, collect some 1 or 2 nukofio from somebody to pour in his car, and now they've lost their lives.
And then
you should go and explain to God.
Funny enough, this burden to be on the government. They have to compensate. And the government didn't send you there.
Exactly. How much are you even going to make? That's my question.
If the government improved the basic needs, people will not need to do this.
But then this is risky. This is very risky. Trying. There are certain things you shouldn't do. You shouldn't risk your life.
With the helicopter crash of our 8 fallen. Yeah. Did we not hear of people going to the crash sites to go and find what they can to pick and take home? And if it's spare parts and whatnot?
Some of these things, you don't have to blame them on government.
Yes. How can government stop you from doing something like this? It is
a cause and effect issue. If so, you that are here, you have jobs, you're living pretty comfortably. If there's a plane crash close to it, you will not go there to go and pick spare parts to try to monetize, will you?
So are you saying government should make everyone comfortable?
It's possible. It is called we will get to the point of post-materialism, where basic needs of everybody are met. We hear of countries like the Scandinavian nations where healthcare is free, education is free, housing is, I think, fairly affordable, some is even free. Even when Libya was under Gaddafi, we heard that, there weren't people on the streets and whatnot. It is achievable. Those kinds of people, if there was...
We are getting there.
Yes,
we are getting there.
Oh, we are.
That also shouldn't justify that.
It's not justification. It is a reason for some of the things happening. That's all.
But then there are certain things you shouldn't get into. Like right now, if I'm jobless, I don't have a job. There are certain, I wouldn't wake up and say I'm going into armed robbery, knowing the kind of risk involved. This Galamsey, I have fair idea. I know how it is. Tuesday we were talking about the fact that I can die. I wouldn't do some of these things.
It's about the levels of desperation. I'm not justifying it. Sometimes we even, as ladies, we talk about how some other ladies go into prostitution and, sleeping with bosses and whatnot. Yeah. And you think about it, and there are so many reasons. There are some people who are at their wits' end, you see. So it's like do or die, any means necessary. So when we see things like this, I mean, maybe I'm being empathetic a little, but these are some of the things we need to consider. It's not just about the fact that they are not smart, but it's something that has led them to this level. Because you're even saying, so they know they can die with this Galamsey. They know they may not come back tomorrow, but what if I come back? What's the money I'll make? Let me feed my family. Let me feed myself. These are some of the things.
So can we shift the attention from the victims to maybe the driver, the road, how bad the road is?
So when the road being bad now comes in, where does it go? Authorities.
I mean, that is even leading me to my next trending story, because over the weekend, President Mahama launched the Cape Coast Takoradi Road, and it's a project, expected to complete in 2 years. The construction has already started. When you use I think the other time we visited Cape Coast, we saw that work was in progress, and President Mahama made a profound statement during that time, and he emphasized that people should take care of the roads. The roads are there, but they are ours. Good roads will only exist if we treat them well. And he's talking about the reckless drivings we've been experiencing, overloading of vehicles, not meeting regulations, weight regulations, and the others. These are all the things that, destroy our roads very, very early after completion. And so President Mahama was emphasizing on that fact that we need to take care of our roads.
Speaking on taking care of our roads too, we need to also put some sort of accountability on the contractors, because an amount of money will be, disbursed for the project. But even, let's take even building sometimes. At the end of the building, when you see the quality of materials used, you wonder if really and truly the amount of money disbursed is what was used.
Yeah.
Because I've heard of complaints where it's like our newer roads don't last as long as the older ones. Within a few years, potholes start coming up. So
the pressure.
the problem a portion of the problem could go to the contractors as to how well they are constructing these roads and the quality of the road itself too.
And I was happy when, I think a few months ago, there was another launch of a road project where President Mahama introduced the contractor, handling this construction. Yeah, he was like, this is the man taking care of this construction. So if anything goes wrong, blame him.
Yeah, we should. I mean, to
that
an
was a
extent,
very good.
it's good, but then he could be in danger.
No.
You can't spend our money.
Yes. And then all the pressure comes to the government and then the president as well. I will tell you, you spent taxpayers' money to construct this and it didn't even last. So talking about the road being destroyed, the president also made mention about something, that the number of trucks, the loads that it picked, we have weights, like a standard weight for. Yes.
Yeah.
So they are going to check that one. And he left that in the hands of the roads minister. So they are going to check that.
Yeah. So maybe with that, roads that are usually treaded by these bigger trucks would need more to go into them. And then also, I think I was listening to one of the radio stations on my way home a few days ago, and they were talking about these trucks. The trucks have a certain capacity, but you will see that they have been loaded with way more.
Yeah.
And then it goes in to affect the road. It can also cause the accidents because the truck can only take so much load. Yeah. This is another thing we need to look at. We understand that you want to get, more for less, but to what end?
They don't really understand how it affects the road, because, it is bare land. Can't live fast, so just load it. But it goes way, because the quality of the road, maybe it was constructed for a weight of, let's say, 100, tons of, so that was how it was constructed. And I think that education should be given to drivers, because if you are using this road, this is the number of, tons or meters that this road can take, capacity it can take, so that they are informed. Because if I'm coming from Burkina Faso and from where I'm coming from, we can overload our trucks, and then I'm entering into Ghana, I should have that education.
Even the trucks being overloaded should also be part of the education, because sometimes when the load is too much, the load will now control the car. And this is where it will just capsize or just veer off the road. It could even happen with the tanker issue too. Yeah. The tanker has a capacity, and I know I think there should be some space in it. It shouldn't be filled to the brim. You fill it to the brim and now problem.
Yeah, so like Mimi said, the president has left this in charge of the roads minister. And then we have borders as well. And then this road is one of the major N1s we have in Ghana. Okay. And then this connects to the Western region, Togo, Elubo, other regional integrations and all that. So this will help facilitate. Yes, so the borders, from Elubo is Cote d'Ivoire. Yes, and from Sekendi Takrade, forgotten when I remember. Yes, so this is a form of like regional, integration, and this also is going to help, the people there in terms of transporting their goods, transport costs, and then the how should I even put it? The freedom when it comes to it, because this is dualization, so too. Yeah. So this is just going to help.
It will even bring down the number of accidents.
Exactly.
Yeah. And before you come here, Ira, I also want to say that this conversation should, bring our minds back to the reintroduction of road tolls as a way of checking our vehicles, and also getting some funds for the road constructions. Because without road tolls, I don't know, but I feel people are just using the road. No stops. Unless we meet a traffic light, no, there should be stands where checks are being done. So we are doing the checks and we're also getting revenue for, the road constructions.
But then the road tolls, are they the same people that usually check the trucks?
No.
So
but we
would have to, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go to, Attorney General has given an update on the progress of the high-profile cases, corruption cases in the country. Which of you will take it?
Before Peter comes in with all the education, I just want to say that the pressure being mounted on the Attorney General is too much, especially getting into or giving us feedbacks on high-profile cases, high-profile corruption cases. They are working. I mean, I don't know why you're looking at me like that. They are working. And I was happy when he said that so far nothing has been found. They've not found anything with regards to these high-profile cases. And so they are working.
Well, I have images. I don't know if my producer will display them. But we have images about some properties acquired with the proceeds of crime by former CEO of National Food and Buffer Stock Company. And these numbers are very beautiful. They will look nice in our account too. So we have 5-bedroom house at Chain Homes. That is $1,625,000. Then we have 3-bedroom house at Cantonments, and it's $600,000. Plots of land at Airport Development, that's $750,000. 17-bedroom boutique hotel at Gumani in Tamale, and that's $250,000. 4-bedroom bungalow situated at Jolu, Accra. That is, is it 4,142,451 Ghana cedis. Then they purchased 0.32 acre government land, 307,200 Ghana cedis. Then the next one, this one is money laundering transfers. And this one is also by the former CEO of National Food and Buffer Stock Company. So Sartina Enterprise to Hanan Abdul Wahab, we have 179,137.25 Ghana cedis. Then Sartina Enterprise to Al Karani Enterprise, we have 23,913,964.90 Ghana cedis. Sartina Enterprise again to Fahauza Ventures, we have 500,000 Ghana cedis. Then Sartina Enterprise to Chain Homes Ghana Limited, we have 550,000 Ghana cedis, and in total making 40,493,102.15 Ghana cedis. This is not a small amount of money. And this is all from the former CEO of National Food and Buffer Stock Company. Money laundering cases. Then, okay, now there are other cases that are also, I think, in progress. We have the SkyTrain issue, the National Service Ghost Name Scandal, the District Road Improvement Project, DRIP, then National Lotteries, Pualugu Multipurpose Dam, SML, Frontier Healthcare Services, Free Wi-Fi, National Ambulance, Bonkra Integrated Inland Logistics Terminal, Sputnik V vaccine case, and the land lotting, 8 instances investigated. So these are all, we should expect some updates on this. On Tuesday, Nanaya, was it Tuesday or last week? Nanaya was very, very interested in updates, especially with regards to Parliament, that when are you resuming? We need to know as a people. Yeah. So if you also say we are giving them too much pressure, they may slack off. We need to know these things, because we also hear usually of the fact that these are all leaders, they are friends and things, and if maybe it's a friend of one high official, they will do one or two things and the case will just die. So if we have a situation where the Attorney General is on the issue and we are getting updates, our minds are still on these things, that this is taxpayers' money. 40 million Ghana cedis.
See, I disagree with Mimi when she said that we are mounting pressure on the Attorney General. When justice delays, corruption wins. We should ask ourselves questions. This has been happening. This is not the first time. We hear of a high one. The following month, you hear another one. What is fueling? What is giving them the power to do that? To spend, to loot public funds and be there? It's because justice delays. You understand? If we've been able to prosecute one person, and we all know that this is what happened to the person, this is what happened, and this is what the state has done to the person, it will serve as a deterrent. But here lies the case, justice delays, and then we will come. There are some cases that has lasted for about 10 years. And now the perpetrators are working freely, they are enjoying life with the money. They are there enjoying life.
And then the victims are there suffering.
You understand? So it means we are not putting pressure on him.
Enough.
I wish we can put more pressure. If it is about the systems, if it is a system failure, we should fix it. We are not the only country practicing democracy. We have other countries practicing democracy. But when issues, financial fraud like this happens, they have time periods. Less than a year, they are done with it, they prosecute you, and that is that. If you lack,
to jail.
Yes. We should put timelines to some of these things.
I want to also understand that beyond the headlines, like telling us that, we found this amount of money in this person's account, how is that going to translate into we getting the funds back? Are we going to get the funds back? No. That is what Ghanaians are interested in. Because if you come and tell us that you found money, this amount of money in the IRS account, and you can't tell us how we are going to get the money from Yaira, how does that concern us?
And so since they insist that it is very imperative they get to know, they have to find out, and they have to know and tell Ghanaians. That is the more reason why we are mounting pressure on them. So because you can't just come and tell us like you said. So if you found issues like this, you have to go through the various, investigate it, make sure you bring those perpetrators to book. Then if you know you can, don't tell us.
An amount of money was found in somebody's room.
Yes.
Under her bed. Yes. And the person is still walking around.
That is what we are still talking about.
Operator. He was seen walking, in a different country. Yet he's been declared a fugitive, right? So what are you going to do? How are you translating that into we getting our monies back?
So with the properties listed, I think one of the things I learned is that when, let's say, with these properties, if they are for the former CEO of the Food and Buffer Stock Company, they will freeze these assets. They may put them up for auction or sell them, or request a refund from whoever he bought it from and whatnot. So one way or another, the property, the money will be recouped, at least some of it. But then also, if we don't bring these people to book, others will think that, okay, I can do some.
That is why I said that this keeps on happening.
We are, but that doesn't mean that we should let them go scot-free. I mean, since then I'm one issue, I don't think we've heard of another Ponzi scheme again. People are smarter. Nobody is also being conned into anything. Nobody's trying to con anybody, at least as far as we are aware. So one way or another, it will reduce some of the things.
No, it is not happening because it has taken another turn because of the delay in justice. So the question we should ask ourselves is, why is prosecution delaying in Ghana? Why does it delay?
Why is it delaying?
Why does it delay? So if it is a system error, like I stated initially, we are not the only country practicing democracy. Issues like this, when it happens in some countries, when you go to the US, the United States, South Africa, they have special lawyers, prosecutors, like they have special institutions that deals with this, basically.
Yeah.
And then when it happens, you are given a timeline. If you fail to meet the timeline, you are being sanctioned. So we should know that from the start to judgment is 1 year. And now, yesterday, the Attorney General was saying that the cases presented to him by Ora lacks evidence. So they are now going through. See, some of these things, even putting that one aside, we have cases. The Sky Train, the ambulance. It took some time, right? All those cases have been withdrawn. You understand? Without any proper. So why do you come to tell us these are the fraudulent cases without, infecting actions in the. Why then do you tell us?
Okay,
if you can't do anything about it, don't tell us.
Will we be right if we say that Ora was also in a haste to bring out names of people, scamming the country or taking monies without proper investigations, because you submitted names and you didn't add evidence?
But to some extent, I'll say they were in a rush. To some extent. But the fact...
But we were seeing it fili.
Yes.
But where is your evidence?
My issue.
You don't have evidence to show.
That is my issue. But people are spending. So look, after Kenoforiata's issue, a lot is happening. Look at this NSS saga. People are spending.
Yes.
People are spending
They are
money.
spending the money.
And then, you see, we have this defensive mechanism. Lawyers will go, this woman, NSA woman.
Gifty.
It was reported, yes, Gifty. It was reported that the first time she was supposed to appear in court, her lawyers said she's not feeling well, so it has to be adjourned.
always not
Even
feeling well.
there was something about his health.
Yeah.
You see, but we can see this person is healthy. I mean, see.
Well, it's also drawing my mind to the fact that when the lawyers who graduated just, I think about 2 weeks ago, we were seeing all the social media buzz about it. People were saying that we are not getting enough people going into other ventures. We have too many lawyers. But there were arguments around this. And when we think about it, if we go into the number of lawyers we have in the country, it's just in the thousands. But as a nation, we're about 33 million, no?
Yeah.
Now, if we have, let me just put maybe a cap on it, approximately 10,000 lawyers in this country, and we are just over 33 million as a nation. That is woefully inadequate. Because look at cases like this. If we had enough lawyers, we had enough people in the judiciary and things, it would be going pa, pa, pa.
Don't forget that those over there too are
these are
in a
all
way linked
things,
to the people involved in this. Just as you were saying, one big man knows another big man who knows that in opposition or incumbent government. It is a messy kind of thing.
We need to call on China and there is those who do the executions and things, those who just sack you, the ones who take those radical measures. We need to probably learn from them.
We are too compassionate as a country. We have mercy on
sometimes it's not
people.
compassion, it is collusion.
Because we have to do away with that thing. You see, we have too many offices working separately. We have too many offices. It's high time we make good use of technology. Too many offices working separately. We have few judges.
Very few judges. And even among the judges, there are issues.
And then, so these cases are competing with normal criminal cases.
Yes.
These are high cases. Like, look at the amount involved. And these same judges are supposed to be, handling issues, normal, criminal issues, and these ones as well. So I think it is high time we structure our things where, like I also mentioned, legal tricks and delays. You have defendants who, because, like the Attorney General said, because there are no enough, evidence, you have the Defense Counsel also putting up tricks and the whole lot delays. Just yesterday, we heard that the case Gifty Owari's case, it has been adjourned. This could be
and she's
that
on the GFA board or something.
This could be that the judge is busy. He or she has been reassigned or is busy with another thing.
Case,
Because we can't continue like this. We can't continue like this.
Then there should be special judges allocated to cases like this.
And giving them timeline. If you fail to meet the timeline, you'll be sanctioned.
And
that is what is happening in other countries.
Anonymous,
They should be protected as well.
So that we are not at the risk of some, incentivization. That's how I like to put it.
And then when it comes to records keeping, we are very poor. Sometimes we don't need a whole team to go and do investigation when we have the records digitalized. It's just about, these institutions, Koko, National Intelligence, they should work hand in hand. Like we were saying about the payroll system that the health ministry, the controller accountant general, and then the Ministry of Finance, they should have a live system. They should work hand in hand so that if there are issues like this, if there's an update, you will just see it. When you take, for instance, this gift to a warrior, I have a whole pink sheet here, the charge sheet. I'm very passionate about this because these young people after school, they'll be posted to work. They will be expecting their allowances and it will delay. Not knowing one person is somewhere forging names, adding up to take loans to.
It's so sad.
It is very serious. These service personnel are working, expecting their allowances, and it is not coming.
At a point, we became used to, delayed allowances.
It's not.
It's normal.
It's not
fine.
For the most part, a lot of the service personnel are also cushioned because they are still with their parents. If not,
how are you
we
going
would
to
have
survive?
rioted. But, moving on from this issue and treading cautiously.
No, Yarira, I have the charge sheet allocation. Let me remind viewers. Gift Oware Mensah has been formally charged with 5 counts, including stealing, willfully causing financial loss to the state, using public office for profit, and money laundering. The state alleges she misappropriated 38,455,248 between February 2022 and around March 2024. It is alleged she generated 9,934 ghost names from the NSA's central management system, then used those phantom names and allowances as collateral to secure a loan of around 30.7 million Ghana cedis from the ADB Bank. According to the prosecution, she set up a company known Blocks of Life Consort without vendor registration with the NSA, misrepresented that the company was supplying goods to national service personnel and diverted funds into accounts of companies she directed. This,
You can see that this is a well thought through plan.
this case shouldn't last for like even 6 months.
Yeah.
If we have special, prosecutors for this,
And
this
even
shouldn't last for.
investigative-
I mean, she should be brought to book. You understand? And then if you check the timelines, March 7, 2025, we were told that Gift Oware was detained by National Intelligence Bureau. June 2013, June 13, the Attorney General publicly laid out the facts, which I've read. And then October 22, she appeared in court, in High Court, pleaded not guilty to the charges and was granted bail of 10 million Ghana cedis. She pleaded not guilty. Right now, what are we waiting for? This is where the tricks of the, defendants there. I mean,
Thank you so much.
this is a serious issue.
Yes, it's very
One funny
serious.
thing is also
Peter, we
that
need to move forward.
initially we all know that
Let's not
the
get
money
into trouble.
is 548 Ghana cedis. Now it has ballooned to 2.2 billion after a forensic audit. That is
Billion.
that is what the Attorney General said yesterday. So there are more issues.
I'm sure he will do something about it. We'll hear more about it. Let's go to your newspapers quickly. Then we read the Health Facilities Regulatory Agency story, and then we wrap up. So what do you have for us?
Let me cool down
The
the atmosphere
yes.
with some showbiz.
Peter's charge.
With some showbiz news, as Shatawale is making, headlines here, and he says discipline attracts corporate sponsorship. This is by our very own Shatawale.
Wow.
So he's saying that
Growth.
for Ghanaian creatives struggling to attract corporate sponsorship, dancehall star Shatawale believes the answer lies in one simple word: discipline. The self-proclaimed dancehall king believes that discipline backed by hard work and consistency is the ultimate formula for catching the eye of the corporate world. And this comes at the back of the just ended Shatterfest held here in Accra. And Shatawale's main sponsor was with MTN. So they even named it Momo Fest. Momo Fest with Shatterfest. Yeah.
The Momo Fest too. I thought it was a
And
different
we are all surprised that Shatawale is talking about discipline because
growth. He's done self-development, please.
exactly. He hasn't been in the news for some time. It was just with the Yoko issue, and he handled
course.
it
He has
very
grown.
well, very calmly. Like the Shatta we know before would have done things. But
Paints the country red.
I'm just saying that his discipline should reflect in the lives of his fans. The indiscipline is too much, right? After the event, we saw how dirty the place was. Indiscipline. But he's advising upcoming artists who want to attract corporate, sponsorships.
It is well. I'm sure
Shata, we've heard you.
His fans will also emulate his, new persona. Peter, what
So
do you
that
prefer?
it wouldn't be like politics when we have aspiring MPs and presidents advising us, and then deep down they'll be doing a different thing.
Yeah.
So I pray it shouldn't be that. And I have the daily graphic. AG unveils 78.2 million Ghana cedis buffer stock scandal. There you have former CEO wife accomplices face 25 charges. National service due balloons to 2.2 billion Ghana cedis. There we also have President Mahama launches infrastructure plan to guide big push. We also have Prof. Quay proposes service contract approach to manage natural resources. These are the news making headlines on the daily graphic.
All right.
But since you don't want us to touch on the
Please.
AG issue,
We've touched on it. We have massaged it a little. Peter, if we give you the rest of the time, we know you will take over. But when we hear more, definitely we'll be here to talk about it on Tuesday again. So let's go into the main online story for today. This one is HIFRA unveils a plan to strengthen regulation of fertility services. And the Health Facilities Regulatory Agency, HIFRA, is introducing a new regulatory inspection tool to enhance oversight of the health facilities and fertility clinics in Ghana. Dr. Winfred Kolitiba, Acting General Secretary of HIFRA, stated that the new regulatory inspection tool is a response to the increasing complexity and advancements in Ghana's health sector and fertility centers. Key features of the tool include clear benchmarks, which will establish standards for service delivery, data security, and fertility preservation, as well as medical records or medical standards, The tool will also ensure that facilities meet operational and ethical standards to safeguard patient safety and trust. HIFRA's planned inspection tool will be introduced in phases targeting both urban and rural health facilities. The initiative aims to improve healthcare quality and accountability, supporting the government's broader goals, and it also addresses concerns about uniform standards, technology use, patient confidentiality, and service quality in fertility clinics.
We are happy. We are happy that HEFRA is thinking, about healthcare in Ghana as it will translate in the lives of Ghanaians at large. And I like the fact that they are not just going to limit it to the urban clinics, but also extend it to rural clinics as well. It is very fair that the treatment I receive here should be the same treatment I receive in a rural area when I go there. And the issue of fertility services is very, very important because it goes beyond just what is happening with the person, the system, and everything, but emotionally, psychologically, fertility is a broad area that people really need to pay attention to. So I like the fact that, this attention is being sent there.
Yeah. And I think it would also help with how they also, like the service delivery, because I remember that there was a private clinic where I went to get some medical care, and I realized that the report, all they did was edit the name. They didn't write what they actually...
You don't say.
Yeah, so later on, I think the person was fired though, but for something like that to be happening, it means that there needs to be some more stringent measures, even from their own management, but also from the, top level management, like the agency, where they can check these things. Because what if you go, let's say breast cancer awareness, you are feeling something in your breast, you go to a clinic or something, they've seen something, they don't write the accurate thing, they go and, diagnose you of having breast cancer, you go and start taking chemo, you are probably halfway through chemotherapy, you've lost your hair, as Peter would like, and then you come to realize that you did not even have cancer. It was a benign cyst or something, or a benign lump, So I think these things would actually really help. And then also with the fertility clinics, we see that people are also saying they should take some medicine and whatnot. All these medicines and all these things they administer could also be checked to know that they're not just giving us anything just because you want to have a child. Then they're giving you all kinds of mixtures and concoctions that could even in turn give you a more serious issue later.
That also goes beyond just the facility and everything, but the personnel.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get tired.
How
are we bringing in more personnel to also help? If someone, we know they have this shift system, but even with a shift, if it's just 2 people, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, it still doesn't work. There should be 2, so that if one is even getting tired or one tries to edit the results, the other will prompt him that, oh no, don't do that kind of thing.
And it would even help with like you're saying, the shift system would help a lot. But then also, we are hearing that they can't pay them. They don't have the resources and things. So these things, when maybe the agency comes to bring findings that no, we need more officials, more personnel, more professionals, then maybe they can take it up with the health ministry to actually host more people to these places. The shift system, I mean, there could be 6-hour shifts. It doesn't necessarily have to be 12 hours.
Yeah.
For me, I'm glad that HEFRA has taken this bold initiative. This fertility issue has been persistent over the years. Like Mimi said, this is very serious because it involves people starting a new family and all that. And then this new plan is as a result of some activities they embarked on some months ago, closing down unlicensed and fertility facilities which are not properly regulated. And you see, I always have a problem. There's a but. In as much as they are doing well, there's a but. Who regulates our regulators? This issue, it came out because something happened. We always wait for something to happen before we take steps. Because of that, the steps that we take, they are reactive. They are not preventive. They are short-term solutions. They are not long-term. So it's high time we sit down, we regulate our institutions very well. We should be able to foresee some of these things before they even happen.
Exactly.
So,
if it wasn't for the 23 hospitals or healthcare centers that were shut, I wouldn't have even known there was an agency called HEFRA. And I'm excited about today's main segment because we're having some reps from HEFRA to tell us what they really do. I mean, and then we'll also be talking about collaborations because Yaira made mention of the fact that they need to ensure ways of getting funds to pay these. So we'll be looking at that and also some of their challenges. Maybe they have some challenges that is hindering them from coming out to tell us why we do not hear of them till something happens.
Exactly. And then that collaboration is very important because these institutions should be linked up in the system that any update they'll get to know to be able to find solutions to issues before it goes out of hand. And then having said that, look as if today all my solutions boils down on technology. Technology isn't the only solution we have. It also boils down to the fact that we need to change our attitude as Ghanaians as well. So, technology cannot replace integrity. You understand? So in as much as we are rooting for technology to solve our problems, we need to, actually get a strong willpower. You understand? So that, because these days in our news, it's about corruption. This has done this, we need solutions to that and all of that. It's high time we sit down properly and check. And then the citizens, we have to put pressure on our leaders, people we've appointed to, take care of our institutions. So we have to put pressure on them. If you notice that something is wrong, voice it out. Let's put pressure on them. Because it looks as if they are like snails. We have to put fire on them before they move. We have to be ready for that and ensure that things move the right way, because when it happens like that, it goes down to affect we, the ordinary Ghanaians. Some of us cannot even afford a 3-square meal. Some are there, they have the money, they can afford it, but they are taking actions that do not favor us. But if we don't talk, it will look as if we are content with whatever that is happening. So it's high time.
I also lastly want to just add that HEFRA should take into consideration how friendly the inspection tool will be with administration or management of these facilities.
Please elaborate on the friendly.
Practically friendly. I mean, you don't just impose inspection tools on. I know it should be a bit uncomfortable, but if they are not complying, why are they not complying? Maybe it is beyond them. Like, they can't really do much about it. That's all I'm just saying. Or there should be an education on that.
Well, then I think the unveiling of the regulatory or inspection, tools and things like that, there should be a conversation about it where various members of each, faction or whatever, wherever they are on the value chain, should come together, look at it, evaluate, before they, put it out there, so that it's not like, okay, a group of people have decided something and then we are.
Because even in our secondary schools, they tell us, make sure you lay your bed, make sure you trim your hair. They've already told you. So when they're coming for inspection and you violate these rules,
yes.
So that's what I'm saying. They should tell them their expectations. Like, as a health facility, this is what you're supposed to do. This is where, we'll be talking about that. We'll be looking at the violations as well.
Right. Thank you so much for a very interesting conversation here. Peter, I hope you're calm now. Yes, so this brings us to the end of the online and print review here with my co-host. It was very interesting. Thank you for your comments as well. And up next is the sports segment with Benedict Nkitia Kwarting. We have a fight over Liverpool. Yeah, welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show. And if you're just tuning in, it's time for sports with Benedict Nketia Kwating here with me. And we're going to be hearing more about the Champions Leagues and the football stories all over the world and even here in Ghana. Hello, Benedict.
Hello, Vera.
Good morning.
Good morning. How?
See, you looking very nice in your fresh cut.
As usual.
Could that be because of what's going on in the Champions League?
Not exactly, but I mean, you know, Champions League, it's that time of the year, it's that time of the week. So there was some games over the week. That was yesterday, on Tuesday, and then yesterday. Today there are Europa games yet to be played, but then, yeah, Champions League, there were some matches.
Okay.
I think I remember, if investors, they remember, on Tuesday I told them about, you know, teams winning. There's going to be over 1.5, 2 goals and above. And then those who listen to me, I'm sure they made some money. Our investors, they made some money over there over the week. But then you remember the Liverpool conversation I had
Yes, you were
with you?
telling me they are on a losing streak and they will lose again.
Yes.
But I heard they are back up.
Yes, finally. Finally, God has made a way for Liverpool.
So
they won yesterday.
How many wins or how many goals?
They scored 5-1.
5 goals?
Yes.
After losing how many matches?
4.
4. So you see they've cleared everything.
So they've cleared everything. So I mean, I'm happy for them. They're happy now. The next is we have Clasico coming up. That's Barcelona and Real Madrid. They are playing on Sunday. El Clasico at the Santiago Bernabeu. We'll see what will happen on Tuesday. We'll talk about it.
Right. So what about Chelsea?
Chelsea won.
I heard some news about Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea won. We're hoping they will lose, but yeah, they won. Their time is not yet up. Everybody will get their own. Chelsea's own is coming.
Okay, and then since you're in an Arsenal jersey,
Arsenal won. I wore Arsenal today because it's pink, and then you know we are still in the breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is just to represent, you know, the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and of course to also represent us now. They won against Atletico Madrid. As the show goes on, we'll talk about the games and then the scores and all that. But let me dive straight into our first story. That is our local story, the inauguration of the Greater Accra Interim Committee members, Ghana Cycling Federation. So yesterday, the Ghana Cycling Federation, the Accra chapter, they met to inaugurate the members, the committee members, at the hockey stadium around. Yes, so on your screen, this is when they were being inaugurated. That is the chairman on the. So on the far left is the chairman, that is Mr. Albert Oku, yes, and then his team. So this is when they were being inaugurated. So yes, so we had a few comments by the chairman, the appointed chairman. By his left is the Greater Accra representative for the Ghana Cycling Association, the Ghana Sports Association. Sorry. Yes, so that is the committee members.
So yesterday, as I told you, I've lobbied him, and it's right for us to have our team. And I don't know if my club chairmen are not ready for it. If they are not ready, then I'll let it skip away. But with Polo here, I know we are ready. Majority of the cyclists are mine. And we have to have our fair share. And we'll represent the Greater Accra and make sure we compete with national and other national teams coming. And I believe Greater Accra will win trophies. Are you not clapping for ourselves? Can't we do it? I know we can do it. I believe in my people. And I know with cooperation, unity, even though there is a room for agreement and disagreement, and we are used to that. The Cycling Federation in Ghana and the Cycling Greater Accra Cycling Association, we are used to democracy. We agree to disagree. The rule allows it, but offensive words, please, I believe that is not our culture. And with the new interim committee, we shall not tolerate that. If we spot you that you are a cyclist or a club chairman who wear the cloth of indiscipline, will be seriously dealt with. Because our mandate to make sure we clear the road for the new administration to scale smoothly.
And so that is it. That is the chairman of the Ghana Cycling Association, the Accra chapter, the committee members, Mr. Albert Oku, on our screen. And from his speech, you can tell he's insisting on, he's hinting on unity, he's hinting on discipline among the cyclists, that especially the Accra chapter. That is where he's headed, and then he's hoping that his team will henceforth be more disciplined so that they can win more trophies for the region, that is the Greater Accra region. Now, let's move on to our next story. That is the international story. It's international, local in a way. That is Black Stars. We have good news.
Okay.
Black Stars, we've been nominated for the National Team of the Year in the upcoming 2025 CAF Awards.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes, so CAF Awards, that is every year, the Confederation of African Football, so the association in charge of all African teams here on this continent, they organize these awards to just appreciate the teams that are doing very well, the players that are doing very well, to tell them thank you, and then we appreciate what you are doing for the continent. So Black Stars is part of the nominated teams for the upcoming 2025 CAF Awards. So these are the teams that are going to be that has been nominated for the Team of the Year for the CAF Awards. We have Algeria, we have Cape Verde. Cape Verde qualified for the World Cup the first time in history. So I think it's the right way if they are added to the Team of the Year. We have Cote d'Ivoire, we have Egypt, we have Ghana, Black Stars. You know, Black Stars won 8 out of the 10 matches that was played for the World Cup qualifiers. And then we have the Morocco under-20. This is surprising because this is a younger team compared to other teams that are present. But because of their achievements, because of what they did over the past few weeks, winning the under-20 World Cup, FIFA World Cup, they are here on our screen. And then Morocco, the national team itself, they also did very well, incredibly well in the qualifying stage of the World Cup. We have Senegal, we have South Africa, and we have Tunisia. So on our screens, these are the teams that are being presented as the Team of the Year for the CAF Awards. And now, let's move on to the Player of the Year. The Player of the Year, we have that one too coming up. We have Salah, we have Hakimi, we have Osimhen. We have other players that they've been nominated for the CAF Player of the Year awards. But then the front three that are leading this charge is we have Salah, Osimhen, and then Hakimi. Yeah, so on our screen, these are the players that are being nominated. We have Frank, we have, sorry viewers, the names, I'm not really able to get them well. I mean, you know, it's not really my thing. But then, yeah, these are the players we have. They are nominated for the Player of the Year awards. But like I said, the front three, that is we have the Salah, we have Osimhen, we have Hakimi. And then, like I was saying, let me just go through their achievements as these three front runners. Victor Osimhen in the 2024-2025 season, he had 37 goals, 7 assists, 41 matches, and 2 trophies. And we have Mohamed Salah in the 2024-2025 season. He scored 34 goals, 23 assists in 52 matches, and 1 trophy. And Akraf Hakimi, he scored 9 goals, 12 assists in 48 matches, and he won 4 trophies. So these front three runners, Victor Osimhen playing for Galatasaray, Mohamed Salah playing for Liverpool and then Egypt, and then Hakimi playing for PSG. Yeah, so these front three are the best choice out of all the 10 players that have been nominated for the Player of the Year awards. So I want to. It's unfortunate we don't have any Black Star player in this lineup. Hopefully next year we'll do better in the World Cup, and then our names will pop up. This is actually, I think this is the first time I've seen a list which doesn't involve a player from Black Stars. Yes, I think last year we had Thomas Partey in the list, but then unfortunately this year I am seeing the list here, but there is no Black Stars. Still, I can't believe that there is no Black Stars player here. But when you compare the achievements of all these players over here, of course, I mean, there shouldn't be any Black Star player here because all of these players have done something incredible. They've won trophies and all that, and unfortunately, we don't have that to talk about for the Black Star team. But then, of course, we hope for the best for the upcoming
So
players.
who do you think will win, in the overall? Because I remember Mohamed Salah made waves some years back. You know, we kept hearing his name,
Mohamed
Salah.
He's still an incredible player. He's still a very good player for his team, Egypt, and then, of course, his club team, Liverpool.
Okay.
He's a very technical player. He's a very key player in his team. But then, of course, he has competition. Hakimi has won 4 trophies in just a year. Salah won 2. Okay. And then Osimhen won 1, I think, if I stand to be corrected. Let me just... Yes, so Osimhen won 2, Salah won 1 trophy. So that is the other way. And then Hakimi won 4 trophies. So you can tell that there is a lot of competition between them. I mean, individually, they have goals to talk about what they did. Osimhen scored 37 goals, had 7 assists. That is like 44 football goal involvement. And Salah scored 34 goals and 23 assists. That is like 57 football goal involvement. And then Hakimi had the least goal involvement. That is 9 goals and then 12 assists. That is 21 goal involvement. But he has more trophies to showcase whatever he did.
Okay.
So it's going to be tight. Personally, I'm rooting for Hakimi. Hakimi, yes. I feel he deserves it compared to the other 2. Hakimi deserves it more than the other 2. But then, of course, it's a matter of voting. So anything can happen. It's not sentiment. You're not using sentiment or what you like. It is, you just look at the stats. Who you think it deserves it, and you vote for the person. So, good luck to all of them. I mean, the other 7 too, including these 3, making it 10. Good luck to all of them. But I'm rooting for Hakimi. And let's move on to the final part of the story. That is the Champions League matches that went on Tuesday and on Wednesday. So, producer, yes. So this is the games that went on yesterday. So we had Galatasaray playing against Bodo Glimt, and then Galatasaray winning 3-1, Bayern Munich scoring 4-0. Bayern Munich scoring 4-0, Liverpool winning 5-1, like I said. Real Madrid, Juventus, I don't know what their problem is. I don't know what their problem is because we don't want Madrid to win. But how can you sit down and let Madrid to win against you 1-0? They were scored 1-0, and Atletico Bilbao won 3-1. We have Slavia Prague drawing against Atlanta. We have Chelsea winning 5-1 against Ajax. I know James is happy, but that is the end of the line for Chelsea. I promise them. And we have Tottenham drawing their game yesterday, and then of course Sporting winning against Olympique Marseille 2-1. So this is it. This is the results for our Wednesday fixtures. That is yesterday. Today we have European games coming up. Europa games coming up. We know that they're going to play. They are going to play. Let me just go through some of the fixtures for the Europa games that are coming up. We have Feyenoord playing Panathinaikos. We have Braga playing the Crvena Zvezda. Brann playing Rangers. Bologna playing FCSB. Fenerbahce playing Stuttgart, and a lot more. There are quite a lot. But it's going to be an interesting day of football for the Europa League phase, the league phase. Of course, investors, I know you are waiting for me to give you something. This is quite dicey because this is, Europa. Europa, the players are more careful, even though they want to qualify and come back to the Champions League, but the players are more careful. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of goals, that is for certain. But as to if it's running throughout or not, I can't really tell. But then the 1.5 goals there, of course, it will show up, it will pop up best of luck to us investors. I know Andy is watching. He's sitting behind the screen and watching, waiting for me to give him something. But then, yeah, push for 1.5, and then you smile at the end of the day.
Risk,
So yeah.
risk analysis.
Yes. So this is it for the sports update segment. Thank you for having me today.
Yes, thank you for the updates, and thank you for giving some of the tips to the risk. Thank you so much. And yes, this brings us to the end of the sports segment. Now let's take our birthdays for this week.
I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday.
So we have a few birthday celebrants for this week. So let's take our very first one. So this one says, to my amazing woman of God, your love, selflessness, kindness, dedication, commitment, and generosity make you truly wonderful and exceptional. May your day be filled with more love, laughter, and God's goodness and cherished moments. The next one will be for Benedict.
Okay, so this is happy birthday to Christiana Ejay Ankafo. Ejay of Ankafo Leprosium Hospital at Cape Coast registered mental health nurse. I'm so lucky to have you as my friend. Hope your birthday is as special as you are. From International Nana K.
Now this one says, happy glorious birthday to Silas Kojodadzi. Soar higher in everything you do. This is from your very own Nashika. And then the last one.
And this is very special because this is also coming from me. So happy birthday in advance to the CEO of The Day's Home and The Day's Classics. May God bless and elevate you in all aspects of life. May your home be filled with joy and may your cup never run dry. This is from Nananketia, of course. I'm your darling boy.
All right. So I also have two special birthdays. So yesterday was the birthday of two of my friends. We have Gifty Kendralai and Banita. They are my friends. And happy birthday to you both. Continue to be as amazing as you've always been. God bless you abundantly. Benedict also has a special one.
This is a special thanks to, as usual, my sponsor. That is the CEO of The Day's Home and The Day's Classics. I mentioned it last time, and then I'm reminding viewers on Saturday we are having a big birthday bash at The Day's Home on the Abuba stretch opposite the Top Herbal Clinic. We're having a sip and shop. So walk in, come in with your family, come in with your friends, come and enjoy yourself, come and shop with us. And then, of course, we have amazing discounts for all of you. And happy birthday in advance again to our mommy, our auntie, and our boss, Madam Didi.
All right. Thank you so much. Now, this is the end of the birthday segment. Up next is the business segment with Peter Nsia, and he'll be taking us through the world of business.
Hello there, good morning, and many thanks for joining me on the Business Update segment on the Koko Digest Morning Show. My name is Peter Insia, and now to our stories. In October 2025, the Ghana cedi has rebounded significantly, recovering losses from the third quarter and boosting investor confidence. After a 14% decline in the third quarter, the cedi's year-to-date gain has reached 37%, with a notable 16% appreciation in early October. From October 13 to 17, it surged 9.5% against the US dollar, one of its best weekly performances in a year.
Credit this rally to the Bank of Ghana's updated forex strategy, moving from weekly auctions to spot sales, which has enhanced market efficiency and dollar liquidity. The central bank's strict monetary policy, fiscal discipline, strong export earnings, and renewed investor interest have also supported this recovery. As of mid-October, the dollar traded at approximately 10 cedis 95 pesos at commercial banks, indicating improved forex stability. Economists believe the cedi's strength could persist if current policies remain consistent.
Away from that story, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry has warned the public and stakeholders in the construction and manufacturing sectors against the unauthorized importation of Portland cement. According to the Export and Import Regulations of 2016, a valid import license from the minister is required for commercial imports.
Analysts credit this rally to the Bank of Ghana's updated forex strategy, moving from weekly auctions to spot sales, which has enhanced market efficiency and dollar liquidity. The central bank's strict monetary policy, fiscal discipline, strong export earnings, and renewed investor interest have also supported this recovery. As of mid-October, the dollar traded at approximately 10 cedis 95 pesos at commercial banks, indicating improved forex stability. Economists believe the cedi's strength could persist if current policies remain consistent.
And on to our last story, the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana is urging the government to promptly allocate more funds to the National Food Buffer Stock Company to help purchase excess rice from local farmers. The association reports that insufficient funding has led to farmers struggling to sell their produce, resulting in price cuts and significant financial losses.
Mr. Bismarck notice stated that NAFCO received less than 10% of the requested funds, leaving large quantities of paddy rice unsold. He warned that if the situation continues, farmers may abandon rice cultivation due to market uncertainties and poor returns. The association is calling for immediate government action, stressing that without it, the country's effort towards rice self-sufficiency and the livelihoods of farmers could be jeopardized, impacting national food security. The association is urging the government to promptly allocate more funds to the National Food Buffer Stock Company to help purchase excess rice from local farmers. The association reports that insufficient funding has led to farmers struggling to sell their produce, resulting in price cuts and significant financial losses.
And this is all we have for you on the Business Update segment. My name is Peter Insia. Thank you for staying with us. Up next is the Lifestyle segment. Please do stay tuned.
Koko Digest Morning Show, and if you're just tuning in, it's time for the lifestyle segment. And today we are preparing a local Ghanaian delicacy, which is acheke. And my guest here is Miss Bridget Nelson. She is a cook. She owns a restaurant in La Paz called Fine Dine Cuisine. And today she's going to be taking us through the process of making acheke. We have some of our ingredients already prepped, but she will take us through the process. So let's get into the cooking process. Hi, Bridget.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
We are so glad to have you here on the Koko Digest Morning Show again, because the last time we met you was for the Pink October special cooking for wellness. And I know you saw how the team behaved with your shawarma and your chicken wrap. I mean, they have been talking about it since that day, and I mean, I'm sure the acheke here, they are going to be saying that they will eat everything. So please teach us and let us also learn how to prepare for ourselves. Yes, but before we even go into preparing the acheke, can you tell us a little bit about your restaurant? You know, if you have any socials. They've been talking about the shawarma. They say they want to order. So since you are here, we want to get to know you and your restaurant so we can order more from you.
Okay. I'm Mama Fine Dine, as people used to call me.
Mama Fine Dine.
Fine Dine Cuisine. So we are currently at La Paz, Race Course, yes.
Okay.
And for now, we are working from home. Initially, we had a restaurant, but for now, we are working from home. Which say by Christmas, and I say, you know, we will go out again.
Okay.
And, you know, yes. On all socials, we are Fine Dine Cuisine.
Okay.
On Instagram, on TikTok, on Snap, but we are really active on TikTok. Yeah.
Okay.
So Fine Dine Cuisine, and yeah, you see us.
So these gentlemen want to order. Do you do deliveries everywhere in Accra?
Yes, for now we strictly do deliveries and then pickups.
Okay.
Because we don't have
You
a
don't have a
dine-in
dine-in,
at the
okay,
moment.
okay.
We used to have a dine-in, and then we'll be having a dine-in soon.
Okay.
But for now, it is deliveries and then pickups.
All right. So as she said, Fine Dine Cuisine on all social media platforms. And my team, you can start ordering for your shawarma so that by the time the show is over, the shawarma will get here and you will be happy. So today we are learning how to prepare acheke. And from the little I know about acheke, it is a local Ghanaian delicacy that is indigenous to the people of the Nzema land and even some indigenous in Cote d'Ivoire. And it is something that people tend to enjoy. I mean, acheke has gained a name in the past few years, you know, because of Shezami and the rest, all the news that comes about. So we want to learn how to make it today, something new for us. So where do we start? Okay, let's start with the prepped ingredients. So we have some vegetable mix on fire at the moment.
And then we have our acheke. This is our acheke.
So what is acheke made of?
Acheke is actually made of from cassava.
Okay.
Yes, a bit fermented cassava. It's more or less like gari, the process of gari. So I would say that acheke is the wet form of gari.
Okay.
Yes, you see, gari is fried and then acheke. Yes, so acheke. Yes, it's basically the wet form of gari.
Okay. So if I want to eat acheke, do I go and buy gari and then sprinkle water on it?
No. The process is a bit different.
It's different. Okay.
Yes, the process is a bit different.
Acheke is sold on the market where I can go and say I want acheke or something.
Yes, I sell fresh acheke.
Okay.
Yes, I sell, apart from the normal acheke with the tilapia and all that, I sell fresh acheke.
Okay.
And then I'm sure there are other vendors too.
Okay. So let's say I come and buy the acheke from you. What else do I need to do? Do I put it on fire? Do I fry it or something?
So with the acheke, there are two processes in making your acheke. You can either use the microwave or you can either steam it. So with the steaming process, because we don't have enough,
we are
so
something light.
Basically you just put water in, like let's say a saucepan. Now the sonye. So you make sure say ubenya saucepan na sonye betumi atoso.
Okay.
Yes, and this sonye entire nsuo so you know the wa check in gumu
not steam no.
Then the steam now wakata so with a napkin or adieti.
Okay.
See, into the more also no yes no, then the vapor will steam it until we are now the oil crazy.
Okay.
So and then with the Ivorians no you person the cube ready. Yes, you can either have it with the enjoy it with this cube and now say with salt.
Okay.
Opera a bit more I say no say we use microwave. So this is the microwave way. Microwave the here say obenya idea is suitable for microwave. Now the gumo.
Okay.
Now you can so then you just put it in your microwave.
Okay.
Now where you saw microwave mo. See because you to me anya steam way method no you use microwave.
Say you save time into
time
make
and
it simple for us.
Simple for us.
No. Say we will pour the acheke.
You know, we are having with tilapia. Yeah, air fried.
Into acheke, no, is it strictly say obi tilapia bedi? Na me say I me chicken no. Can I eat it with chicken?
You can enjoy acheke with everything. I mean, protein be our PBR. Ope say mrekra na mushroom kwa na betumi dey enjoy ya. You can enjoy acheke with the hand. So I say Accra has say more of your pen, more of tilapia. We are used to the tilapia as compared to, let's say, other fishes now. But you can enjoy it also with chicken. We have everything. Okay. This can be beer. Person find ube to me I enjoy it with beer. No, you can ube to me I enjoy it with. It doesn't have a straight. He say it has to be tilapia. No, it's not supposed to be like that.
Now, say the acheke abeji would you say any other foods are normal daily foods no any more competition kakra?
Of course acheke enye nde na acheke ba acheke is titifu aduane it's just that I say bia e ba akra ha say no and I say me hu ni say afena spotlight na koto so and obia wants to but acheke me I've been in acheke business for more than 4 years now. But that time no people really were buying. There are people who likes acheke from say Mr. T, But I say on social media, it's all about acheke, but acheke there. E journey or to cry journey. I in Zima for ne friends Ivorians ne journey pa. And I have 2 types of acheke. We have the yellow acheke and then we have the white one. This is the white. We have the white one here today, but yellow one yellow one as compared to the white one. So this is the white one.
Okay. Ebenya close up and you know. Idea say gari o. Inti any gari photo no difference home. Even the texture, the taste, even the smell and I say scent in the car no difference home. Okay. But ebi mu yusu omo to me affording acheke ankasa na ebi mu wo ho a. Omo de gari. Nti we nya baby papa anto we nya baby papa to say fine dine cuisine anto acheke a. Wan sha obedi gari. Ti ba chop acheke a. Ye na ye if you want your finest acheke, look for Fine Dine Cuisine and contact them via any of their socials or via their phone numbers and place an order. Remember me your order because me dem tilapia.
Tilapia pa.
Big one.
Yes, yeah, the tilapia na ye.
Oh, okay. Yenka tilapia no ho say.
Tilapia
no. Do you fry it? Do you grill it? Which as a cook in so there hina it is healthier.
Oh, say him say ebia am say charcoal grill. But obi prefer so obeche obe fry obi prefer say obe charcoal really and I say see air fry and so abe ama I easy with a little bit of oil no we are good to go. Okay. So say the air fry and I am very easy, very quick. That is how it is.
Okay. Me say you prep vegetables kakra. Eno fry ana say salad ana de bedi so ana
acheke no. We know we have onion, we have green pepper, we have carrots which is optional. But Oko Ivory Coast that they don't add carrots. Mostly green pepper and then jene. But to be more of vegetables no friend is saying carrots
the spices ni bibia kan ho to say the fry na
so the angwa kakra begu saucepan ni mu now the vegetables na gum with this one I have pepper me will pepper mix pepper onions, garlic, kakra just a pepper mix no. And I made the afras and I bet say stew form. Pacha what I say. And we know even if you don't have the green chili and then the red chili in the crampwa, you can just enjoy it only with the vegetables.
Now, me and me penam say no. Me me chicken so far.
Open some for chicken and fry.
And some me did tilapia no so I was.
Me ba show me to be there fry. Me ba show me to be there fry. Hey, we are there. To be there fry.
Okay, so you can into and okay, I'm fine I'm not adding the tilapia. Can I just add maybe my chicken bits to it and then still enjoy it?
Of course, however you want to enjoy it.
Okay.
However, the kosia ka ho to say your package say it comes with kosia. There are packages that comes with sausages, gizzard. However you want to enjoy it. Say no protein or person one can be you are good to go. Any restrictions be I say it has to be fish. No.
Okay.
There is nothing like that.
I check no. Is it a balanced meal on its own with everything we are coming to eat? Because me who said, we even have fried plantains here to. Inti what the kahwa? Is it a balanced diet?
Yes, a complete meal. Because me find say achekenu will be your carbohydrates. There is vegetables. What I say, there is tilapia, your protein. What I see, kakra, portion of bibia kakra then. And that's your balanced diet.
Obi a person live healthy, you know, obi timi dey check on a regular. So
yes, you can, but bibia I say portions no, and I say moderation no. Unse because we na carbohydrates in tibia obi for check kakra. You have your tilapia, you have your veggies. What I say and I learned say people they enjoy with fresh vegetables like the lettuce. It's a normal salad. Kofo did this. I have customers they don't pay vegetables out there keja. Pay to say vegetables, crunchy vegetables. Because open tomatoes fresh, open way fresh, open way fresh. Into however you choose to enjoy it. No.
So and also so no the vegetables too. It's at your own discretion, right?
Of course.
Yes. Okay. And then let's get into preparing it quickly now. Answer your time. Pear. Who say pear being so Payanku ye de ka ho.
Almost I'm kind of say I check any pear.
I
check they have BB sarcasm. I check any pear. So you can't do away with pear when you are check here. But say be new one so
okay. And in TCC no say be serve how do we go about it? We'll make something nice here. We've already our vegetables are almost ready. Then we also get our tilapia very soon. We have plantain here. We have the payamku. Yeah, we have the acheke also. And I have chili sauce. And also, say you foreign that.
Yeah, no, and also say a red chili.
Okay.
So this is a chili green moko.
Yeah.
We no say no. Yeah, blend them and name.
Okay. Ew. Tilapia no. Okay, yeah, the chili sauce.
So this is pepper. This is red pepper.
Hey, Pacho, take us through then now the
So this one, pepper, ginger, garlic. That's it. Now what you
okay.
And the oil kakra. Now what you move with you. We see a green moko green no. But we know some moko green yeah my name fit. The authentic way of enjoying your check and that's how because more a check your mood diana green pepper we say no no.
Okay.
A bit of crampo or much chakeke. Chopping board no way to chat with just knife. The seeds are in, everything is in all the oil kakra so.
Okay, into in close up. So yes, this is how nice looking this is the green chili sauce, and then we have the red sauce here. Yes. Wait, so me copy notebook now. I draw all the recipes out so me could be a fine eating quiz. Okay, so I think the bowl has even given it a very nice looking shape. Restaurants for this how okay, so our tilapia is also ready.
So
And
this is our tilapia.
such
Well seasoned.
I mean, fan check camera ni. Wait there. What?
Tilapia, no one said the iron.
Wait there, me and me from my team. Me and.
Okay, so we
So
go
this is my
in
breakfast.
with vegetables. No, ayachimu kakra.
My goodness. Wait there,
Papa
viewers. There's nothing I can say aside say we apologize because the Ekoso Wahano, you can only be here. You need to be here. Hey.
The fine dine
Yes.
way.
Okay. Since you are not here, find Fine Dine Cuisine on social media. Place an order. You will get the exact same thing. Wait there, Pacha, me.
Then
My ready.
with our chilies,
Mbedidi.
our red pepper.
This is a very nice setup already. This is beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So both of the, it goes on fire, right?
No, this one doesn't go on fire.
Okay.
This one is fresh. The green one is fresh. The red one goes on fire.
Okay.
The green one, it has to be so fresh.
Me there, my ready. Me fuck boy.
Why are you ready? Then the green one goes
Into another small.
into our sauce.
Pacho, more restaurants, na dining. No, it's looking really, really gorgeous.
Oh
This is a very
my God.
beautiful setup.
Very soon.
We say, my producer say, or the me beba ho.
So
I bet dining me.
So let this be
Okay.
here. Then
We
your
add
Koko,
our plantain.
our plantain is here.
Wait there.
We
Me
add
there,
our
show
plantain.
me where me could do into more and send the message. But yes, please do send your questions, your comments to our WhatsApp number displayed onto your screens. And of course, anything you think about Acheke, would like to know, would like to hear your thoughts, how nice it is, how you also prepare it. If you have a different way of preparing it, if you even know the history of Acheke, you can share with us, and I'll do my best to also get to those messages and read them to the rest of our viewers. So, yeah, the pen beka ho. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, the pen, no. Almighty.
We say, mo bi antrose menya me kese kwa o. Oh, this is a very nice setup.
Yes.
I see. So can you also enjoy this with like fruits and the rest? Because this is already a full meal. Just watching it come my meal.
Wait, I mean, I doubt.
Wait, I have a name in mind.
Please don't mention his name. And then
I'll put him on
the
black.
cube.
The cube, okay.
You can't be saying we obi to me ode January we mistake ness or if it's a cube we.
Hey, no problem.
I deal the pan the bay or no.
Oh, but say yeah, healthy into for cube, but into any close up. I hope we can see just how gorgeous this setup is. Hey, so I would like to take your final words and your thoughts on, preparing and eating acheke. Anything you'd like to tell our viewers before we go?
Okay, so acheke no, enye aduane afa na aba. It's aduane o tete. Aduane. And acheke it's healthy. With your tilapia, your vegetables, it's healthy. Even if you are on, if you are managing your weight, and I say, slim it's just a portion now. Obe fano, into the sanity, pacho. Into mupe bin swa, fine dine cuisine.
Most of them were in La Paz.
Pacho
my direction. Me drew Las Palmas. Me fine.
Okay, so when you get to Las Palmas, you would have to pick another car to Riscos.
Riscos.
So we are just around the Riscos last stop.
Namu phone number be Minim set team way omo be fro into ya na wabo nkofo na mani say order B but until almost start right. If you have a phone number you'd like to give us.
Okay, our restaurant number is 0243
0243
25
35
35
Montro 35
52
52 right, so 0243 25 35 and then 52. Okay, so I'm hoping someone sharing so namude. Please make your orders. It's fine dine cuisine with us, and it's been an amazing time with our very own cook here, Miss Bridget Nelson. She has made a very gorgeous meal here, and I cannot wait to get digging. And this brings us to the end of the lifestyle segment, cooking for our health, cooking to just learn something every now and then. So yes, this has been a check. We'll bring you more meals very soon. Do have an amazing day, and of course the Koko Digest morning show continues. And yes, anything you know about it, check it. Tell us about it, and we will. She's running away. I have to go. So stay tuned to Clock TV as always.
And you're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show here on Clock TV. I am Miriam Abena Adede. It is time for us to have our main discussion. And today we are talking about health. Earlier we made mention of the fact that we'll be having some reps from HEFRA and to tell us more about what they exactly do as an agency. And that is what we will be doing today on the show. As we all know, health, as we often say, is wealth. And ensuring safe healthcare delivery is key to building a healthy nation. Recently, the Health Facilities Regulatory Agency, also known as HEFRA, made headlines after shutting down 23 unlicensed and non-compliant health facilities across the country. Now, the move forms part of the Health Ministry's resetting agenda, which seeks to strengthen healthcare delivery and also protect patients from unsafe and substandard medical practices. Now, today, we will be exploring this development from three perspectives. We'll be looking at regulatory oversight, and also we'll be looking at collaboration and capacity building. And then lastly, we'll be touching on some challenges faced by the agency and also the way forward for the agency. Joining me in the studio today, I have Madam or Dr. Christabel Aram Nuhohu, and she is the head of public relations at HEFRA. I like the way she looked at me. I think I made a mistake with her name. And then we also have Mr. David Aku. He's also the head of inspections at HEFRA. And they'll be helping us to unpack what this development really means for healthcare and also Ghanaians at large. We are also reminding you that you can engage us with your thoughts via our streaming platforms, Facebook and YouTube, and we'll gladly respond to that. Our WhatsApp number is also displayed on the screen right now, and so keep your questions coming because we have them here and they'll answer all the questions you have for us. Now let's get straight into knowing what exactly HEFRA is all about. Hello, Madam and Mr.
Hi, Miriam. I think I need to correct you.
Okay,
here.
do the correction.
Here is Dr. David, yes.
Doctor, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's not a problem. It doesn't change anything.
I'm very sorry.
It's completely fine.
Okay, so Dr. David Echo Aku. Okay.
And now Christabel. You work close to a doctor.
But that will be very soon. Thank you so much for gracing our studio this morning.
It's a pleasure.
So earlier this week or last week, we heard in the news that 23 unlicensed healthcare centers have been shut down by HEFRA. First of all, let's start by understanding what HEFRA really does, like your core mandate, because you've been in existence since 2011, and much hasn't been said about HEFRA until the 23 health sectors were shut down. So let's get into knowing your core mandate.
Yeah. And HEFRA, the Health Facilities Regulatory Agency, was brought into effect by Acts of Parliament, that is the Health Institutions and Facilities Act 2011, okay. Act 829. And our mandate basically is to regulate both public and private health facilities. And in regulation, we register those facilities, okay. We inspect them, we license them, and then we monitor them. So in registration, you come and register with us. So registration basically means that we know that the facility exists. So we know your facility. And after you have registered with us, you would now express your intent, what you want to do, whether you want to be a clinic, you want to be a hospital, you want to be a maternity home. So based on the intent, that is what you want to do, we now give you what we call our requirements. So for every facility that you would want to establish, we have the requirements for those facilities. So when you're able to meet the requirements for the registration of that particular service that you want to render, then you would move to the next stage, which is the inspection stage. Okay. The inspection stage is where I'm sure Doc would lighten us more on that. Yes. On that. Then we move to if they pass you at the inspection stage, because when we come for the inspection, we come with tools. Okay. So when we come to see if your facility actually complied with or whether they meet the standards. So with the tools, we use the basic minimum, as the minimum standards. We would want you to meet at least the minimum standards. So when we do that inspection, you have to score a certain number, I think not less than 50. But if you get less than 50, if you get more than 50, but you're around 60, what they do is they will give you a provisional license because we'll be giving you recommendations. We actually know that after the inspection, we know that there are some things that we would tell you to do. That's are the recommendations. So we give you a provisional license, hoping that within that period of 6 months, which is the scope of the provisional license, you would implement the recommendations that were made during the inspection. Okay. So if after the 6 months, they would come for what they call re-inspection. After the re-inspection, if you score or you actually meet or they realize that you have implemented the recommendation that you were given, they would now, or the board would issue what we call a long-term license. The long-term license is for 3 years. But then if you've been given a 3 years license or what you call the long-term license, it's not the end of the story. Okay. We'll still want to hold you to standards. And that is where monitoring comes in. So we monitor you every year. And this time around, unlike inspection, which is mostly arranged between HEFRA and then the facility, for monitoring, it is unannounced. So you are in your facility and we come. So when we come there, what we're doing mostly when it comes to the monitoring is that we want to be sure that the standards that we held you up to or the standards that we asked that you maintain, which is the reason why we gave you the long-term license, you are still adhering to those standards. Because there are times when some people, immediately they get the license, they go to sleep. Yeah. We don't want you to go to sleep, which is why we do the unannounced monitoring. We don't want to hear a facility that has been licensed by HEFRA and then the patient goes there. You've been licensed as a clinic. We go there and then we hear there is no doctor. Yeah. No, it's mandatory for there to be a doctor in the clinic. It's at least one doctor. So if patients go there and then they are told that there's no doctor, then it means that you are operating below the standard that you were given, for which reason your license can either be revoked or you will be, downgraded. Okay. But then again, I think Doc will be in a better position to. Yeah.
Before Doc also comes in, are you the only health facility regulatory body we have in Ghana, or there are other regulatory bodies?
We are the only body mandated
I like the
to license every health facility. And when I say every once you have a facility that actually renders health service, you are supposed to be licensed by HEFRA.
So every health facility we have in Ghana has passed through HEFRA? Must. Oh, okay. So those that did not pass through HEFRA are
it means they are doing something illegal.
Oh, okay.
And we would come after them.
Exactly. Doc, let's talk about inspections. Okay. How often do you conduct inspections?
So the inspections is an ongoing process. We have facilities that come in each and every day looking to be licensed, and therefore we can't pause the inspections. Okay. As we speak, teams are on the ground doing the inspections, and therefore we are always at it. And what we are doing currently is that we'd like to do our inspections concurrently across all the regions. We don't want to take a team and then be moving around because that will slow the process. We have a lot of healthcare facilities that are yet to be inspected, and so we want to inspect as many as possible within the time. So we like to inspect all the regions concurrently. So we always.
Now, when we talk about unlicensed or non-compliant, what exactly are we talking about? Because after the 23 facilities were shut down, some people came out to say they met all the regulations set for them, yet they were shut down. So we want you to explain the unlicensed word and also the non-compliant.
Okay. So according to the Act that governs us, Act 829, you need to meet certain minimum requirements, which as a regulatory agency, we are mandated to set. So we've set standards for every facility type. So from CHIPS to health center, to polyclinic, to general clinic. When you have passed through our processes, through registration, through inspection, a board sits down and then decides whether you meet the minimum requirements to have a license. The purpose is we want to ensure that every facility that we say go and operate, you can provide the minimum requirements that can keep the patient safe. It's not enough to just provide healthcare, but healthcare needs to be safe because we are dealing with human lives. So circling back to your question, Licensing means that you have passed through our process. Our board has gone through your requirements and they have deemed you fit to operate. There is no way our team would go to a facility, see a valid license, cross-check with our licensing unit and shut you down. It's not something we do. We are not out to witch hunt. We are just here for the quality of healthcare in Ghana. So I find that very unlikely because we do ask and we do say, show us your license. I must add that by law, you're supposed to display the license at your facility. And therefore, if I walk into your facility, I should be able to see the license. I wouldn't see that license and say we are shutting you down.
Okay. Well said, Doc. Now, we also want to know that what are the criteria set for these clinics that you expect them to meet as a clinic or a health facility? Okay.
So I'd like to explain that when we are doing our inspection, we are not just looking at the infrastructure or what is present. We are examining the entire health management system. So it starts from things like governance. Do you have the right leadership in place? Do you have the right infrastructure? Is your building sound? Is the flow of the building good? So for example, you wouldn't want the first place you enter into the hospital to be the ward. You need to go from maybe reception to taking your vitals, because all these improve the satisfaction of the customer, who is the patient. And we want to make life easy for that patient, because when a patient arrives at the hospital, they are sick, they're unhappy. They want a very smooth process. Then we look at things like the equipment. There's minimum equipment you need to have. So for example, if you see pregnant women, you should have an ultrasound, for example, so that you can do that monitoring. You need to have the right personnel, depending on the facility type. So for example, a health center would be okay with a physician assistant, but a tertiary hospital or a teaching hospital needs specialists and subspecialists, a lot of them. So it varies across board. We also look at things like disability access. If somebody comes in a wheelchair, can they get in easily? Is there a ramp to push them in easily? We look at things like safety. Are there things in place to protect people from being pricked by needles? Is there a fire exit? Do you have fire extinguishers? So the requirements are broad, and it's just to ensure that that entire facility can provide.
But do you conduct, how do I put it, inspections of the construction of these facilities, or you do the inspection after the facility is put up?
So some facilities approach us before they build, that we need guidance. When that happens, we will guide you. This is how you should go about it. Place your reception here, place your OPD here, place this ward here. From experience, we can show you how best that works. But majority of the people who approach us already have buildings in place, and therefore we go and inspect it. If we find that the structure is not up to standards, we will not give you a license.
Well said, Doc. Let me come to you, Madam. When we talk about the violations, especially with the 23, we are using that as our reference because that is what everyone is known to. Now, most of the 23 clinics or health facilities were not meeting the violations, and they were private, health facilities. Now, people are saying that, much attention is not given to these private health facilities as compared to the public ones. How true is that, and why do we have more of the private facilities violating, the regulations?
Okay, Marian, thank you. So to come in, let me say that we didn't close 23, we closed 53.
53?
Yeah, so we did 23 in Greater Accra, and we did 33 in the Ashanti region. Wow. As we speak today, a team is already in the Eastern region, and by close of day.
It's a serious issue.
By close of day today, the numbers would have to increase. Yes.
Okay.
And the exercise hasn't stalled in Greater Accra and the Ashanti region. It's still ongoing. Okay. Just that the media focus is now on the Eastern region, starting today.
Today?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, so you posed the question why the focus is on the private facilities and not the public facilities.
No, I just wanted to know why majority of the clinics or health facilities shut down are private and not, government health facilities.
Okay, it could be that most of our government institutions are licensed because there was actually a directive from the Director General of the Ghana Health Service that all public facilities should get a license from HEFA.
Okay.
And in the public sector, once your Director General gives a directive, it becomes an order. So almost all facilities, from cheap compounds
yeah.
to tertiary facilities,
okay.
Those that don't have the license yet, either had a license before, it expired, and then they are actually going through the process of getting it re-licensed.
I wanted to ask, is it renewable? Or
yes,
is
every 3 years. No, that's why it's 3 years. So every 3 years, they would have to renew the license. So before we renew the license, we come for what we call re-inspection. So it's possible that for those that have not yet renewed their license, we came for inspection, we gave recommendations. Once it's not been implemented, whether you are public or private, we would not give you that license. So that is what happens with the public facilities. So with those that are not yet licensed, either they had a license before, they are due for re-inspection, and then we've gone there, seen certain infractions, giving them the recommendations. It's not yet been implemented. So we are waiting for it to be implemented. Then we would reissue them the license. If not, we would shut them down or we would lock them.
I have a concern which is out of our conversation.
Right.
It has to do with the attendance, or attention given to patients and those receiving healthcare at that time of the shutdown. Don't you have them in mind as to we have patients, pregnant women?
So you see, let me walk you this part. The reason why we are doing what we are doing is because what the public or what the law is saying is that HEFA ensure that every health facility in Ghana is providing adequate or quality health care to patients. Okay. What HEFA is saying is that if your facility is not licensed, what it means is that we don't know what is going on in that facility.
Okay.
We are not sure whether or not you are using the right professionals. We are not sure whether or not you are using the right equipment, whether or not the laboratories, whether or not your kids are reading properly. Yeah. We are not sure whether or not you are even following the right procedure. When Doc was talking, he mentioned following some protocols, whether or not you're actually following those protocols. We don't know we are not saying you are not doing that. We are saying we don't know what is going on in there. And once we don't know what is going on in your facility, we say you are a risk to the public. Exactly. And once you are a risk to the public, when HEFA comes to a facility and there are patients there, and we are saying that because this facility is not licensed, we are shutting it down. In fact, the public should either be thanking us or taking us on for even allowing them to even go to such facilities in the first place. Because we are saying that you've become vulnerable to such facilities, let me put it that way. We are not saying there is something wrong, because we can't draw that conclusion. What we are saying is that we don't know what is going on in there. And once we don't know what is going on in there, we can't guarantee that even the doctor who is supposed to attend to the patient is actually a medical doctor. I'll give you an example. When we went to Kumasi, there's this facility called Florence Maternity. When we got to Florence Maternity, there was a patient who was being attended to by someone who is supposedly supposed to be a midwife. Then the lead of the team asked, in our local language, because we're in Kumasi, who called nursing school? He says, "I school bay." The lady couldn't mention the name of the school. And I was so shocked. Because at that point, I was like, this is somebody who was rendering service to a patient. Apparently, she's not a midwife, had no medical background. Meanwhile, she had actually prescribed drugs for the person. She had taken the person's vitals. So this is just one example. We went to another facility called Mitmich, still in the Ashanti region. When we got there, there was actually a patient who was maybe had been detained, let me put it that way, because he was lying on an admission bed. And then they had actually given this person drip. So we got there, and then again, the lead, I think we asked the patient, what brought you here? He said he didn't know, but then when they took the test, they said malaria, blah, blah, blah. Fine. Then we asked the person who attended to him, what's your background? No health background. At what point, how did you give drip to this patient? He said he called the doctor on phone, and the doctor told him what to do. So again, Paul John was like, really, let me see what you gave to this person. Even though he is a pharmacist, he still has a medical background, so he was able to tell. And he looked at it and said, no, This is not what you're supposed to give to the patient. So again, it tells you the risks that people are exposed to when they go to facilities that are not licensed. So it is because we care about the public. That is why we go to shut down facilities that are not licensed. So coming back to your question where you asked whether or not we don't think about the patients that were in the facility at the point of closing down. In fact, we apologize to the patients for even allowing the facilities to operate, for them to go there in the first place. So at this point, please, whenever you want to go to any health facility, look out for the health fair license, because it is only when the facility is licensed that you are guaranteed that the person who is actually rendering the service is a professional, that they're actually following the right protocols, that the equipment there are working properly. If not, we can't guarantee.
And I'd like to just quickly add that. So typically what we will do is that we give them some time to transfer the patients to nearby facilities, because absolutely we are not going to push a patient on admission out on the street. So they refer to a nearby licensed facility and then we shut the doors.
I think on 2 occasions we even went with an ambulance. Just so if the person is in a very critical condition, we know where to.
So, well, if you just joined us, this is the main segment of the Koko Digest Morning Show, and we are discussing how to ensure safe and quality healthcare in Ghana. It is, a very important role performed by HEFRA, the Health Facilities Regulatory Agency, and they are in charge of ensuring that our health facilities meet all the standards they've set for them. And so it is a very important conversation. Engage us with your thoughts. Send us your comments on our WhatsApp number displayed on your screens and also via our streaming platforms, and we'll respond to that. Now, let me come to you, Head of Inspection, Doc.
Yes, please.
How do you think this operation, enforcement and all that, is in a way going to build public confidence? Because is it not going to put fear in people that a hospital, that kind of thing?
I think what we're doing is actually going to give people assurance. Because when you go to a facility, you're going to be looking out for one thing, is their HEFRA license. You see the HEFRA license, it means that that facility meets minimum requirements, you relax. Then you can trust them to take care of your health. Before we're doing this, that knowledge may have not been out there, and so people go into the facilities and they may not be licensed and they wouldn't even know. So I would say that what we've done actually is bringing confidence to the public.
And have you educated the public on how the license looks like? Or, when I get into any health facility, I'm supposed to see a green card somewhere, or have you done that education?
Okay, so we are actually planning to do education for various groups. We've started with our assessors, our inspectors, the ones who go and do the inspection. We have a team currently in Kumasi doing training for some of the regions. The next step is to educate the health facilities themselves. What are the HEFRA requirements? What do you need to do? Our processes. Then we're going to come to the general public as well. So there's a plan, but you have to understand that because of resources, we are doing it bit by bit.
Okay, so we have a comment in here, and it's actually a question. So it's coming from HM Joe, and he says, why have they waited for this long to start clamping down or shutting down these health facilities? A lot of harm have already been caused. I even wanted to talk about that because earlier we had a discussion, our newspaper review, and we heard that you've introduced a new inspection tool for maternity or fertility clinics, health facilities, something like that. And a colleague raised a concern that if it wasn't for this recent shutdown, they didn't even know HEFRA existed. So we want to know why have we, I'm including myself because I'm part of you now.
Wow.
Why have we waited this long?
Okay, Miriam, I get the public sentiments, but I don't think we've waited for. So what we came into force in 2011. So what we did was the first phase. We used the first phase to actually educate our stakeholders, who are mostly the facilities, on our requirements and then why they are supposed to get a HEFRA license. This is what we did for the first phase. The second phase is we now engaged them and educated them on the tools that we use for the inspection. and then why it is essential, because someone might not understand why we come to the facility and we insist that your professional should have name tags.
Okay.
You see, what we do is we try to, for HEFA, we regulate with you. We want you to understand what we are doing. We are not just doing it for doing sake. There's a reason why we come to your facility and insist that all your professionals should have name tags. Okay. Some people may not understand why we come to the facility and we insist that there should be a signage. For them, they think that these are very petty things and we are just being overly some way. So we took time and face to actually educate them, for them to buy into why we are supposed to use these tools. In fact, most of the tools we even developed with them. Then we got to the next phase, which was now engaging them or letting them come in. And what we did for this phase, we actually engaged with the associations. You know, we have the private facility owners have an association. Okay. Even the public facilities, they are being regulated by the Ghana Health Service. Okay. Ghana Health Service, yes. So, not regulated, sorry, they are being managed by the Ghana Health Service. So, again, we engaged them as well. So, this is the point where we now started telling them that, okay, we've educated you, we have built tools with you. We didn't just build the tools, we built the tools with you. So once we did it with you, what it means is that we have all agreed that we're going to adhere to this requirement. So now it's time for you to get your license, and it is mandatory. We put a human face to it by actually doing this together. Now we want to enforce. Then we went out there, and then most of them, like I'm saying, the public facilities, they came. Some private facilities came. But there are those who thought that there was no need to come to HEFA. And even that, we didn't just get up to close them. We didn't just go. We actually engaged them to the extent that we even invited them to HEFA. Some of them have been fined because, of course, you cannot be operating all these years without a license. And then you just come one day and you go through the process normally like somebody who's always been licensed. So they were fined.
Don't you think that's maybe a major reason why those that have been operating without license do not want to come out? Because you're going to find them.
You don't have a choice. You see, you are dealing with people's lives. And HEFA is saying that we want to know what is going on in there. Part of the general requirement for actually establishing a health facility is to come with your bank account details. Because it is not, we are not saying that not everybody can go into the health sector, but because this has to do with lives, we want to be sure that you have the capacity to provide quality health care. So you don't have a choice to say that I will not come because when I come, you will be fined. Then you shouldn't have even gone into the health sector in the first place.
Yeah. Well said. So 0500 500 421 0500 500 421 is the text line. That's what you're seeing on your screen right now. And 0500 500 423 is our call line. The phone line will be activated very soon, so you call and share your thoughts. We have a comment here too. It says, good morning. Please, as a patient, do I have to ask for the license before allowing to be attended to? This is from Bismarck from Odoko in Accra. So Bismarck is asking, as a patient, do I have the right to ask for their license before being attended to?
In fact, that's the first thing you should ask for. And you shouldn't even have to ask for it. By law, it's supposed to be displayed in somewhere that the patients can readily see. So, for example, when you approach the receptionist, behind the receptionist, it can be there. Yeah. So, if a patient...
How does the license look like? What color is it?
It's pinkish red, kind of. It's supposed to be a white background. Then there's this design. We'll actually display it on our website as well for you to see. But what you should look out for is for every health facility, HEFA license, it has the name of the PIC, who we call the practitioner in charge. So that means that the PIC means that I am the doctor responsible for this facility. So should anything go wrong, hold me responsible. Then we also have the owner's name on the facility. So there are some facilities that are not owned by the PICs. So the owner would also be there. Then for a long-term license, it's supposed to be signed by our registrar and then our board chair. And then for a provisional, signed by the registrar. Yes, we have some security features on it as well in terms of, so if you are not so sure, you can take a picture and they would verify. Then I think for now, it's not up because we are updating it. We have the list of facilities that are validly licensed on our website. So in case you are not sure of the license, you can just go through the list and then you would know that this facility is licensed.
That
not
will work
licensed.
for a lot of people because realistically speaking, if I get into a health facility and I'm not well, I'm going for health assistance, and then I ask them, please, can I have a look at your license? They'll just sack you. We are in Ghana.
Yeah.
I think we need to move away from the we are in Ghana mentality.
Yeah.
We are trying to make our country at international levels.
Yeah. Okay.
And it is the right of the patient to demand that they have quality health care. So, for example, back in the day, when you come and sit to the doctor in the consulting room, you say that you have malaria, take this. You say, okay. You may think that, hey, I don't have malaria, but you just keep quiet.
Yeah.
Today, you need to ask the doctor, why do you have malaria? What did my tests say?
Oh, okay.
The world is changing, and Ghana is changing along with it. So our patients need to take their healthcare into their hands. Because, for example, if you're going to be given medication in a hospital, you should ask the nurse, what is this? Why are you giving it to me? Check it against what you're supposed to be given. So people shouldn't be scared, and it should be a red flag for you if you go to a hospital and they get upset, they're asking for the HEFA license. It's a huge red flag.
I would even say we've become used to such behaviors because when you get to health facilities, they just talk to you anyhow. Some health facilities, I mean, the attendance and that kind of thing, the attitude. So we've become used to it. But it's good you are drawing our attentions to the red flags in there. Sorry for cutting you, but let's look at some specific, findings you got when you went out to inspect these health facilities. We want to know what were the common things you realized that led to the shutting down of the 53 health facilities.
As of today.
Okay, so I'll differentiate between what we find when we are doing our inspections towards licensing and what causes them to be shut down. What will cause you to be shut down is one thing, that you don't have a HEFA license. It's not about your quality of care. You can be providing the best quality of care. If we come and you don't have a license, it's against the law. The law mandates us to shut you down. But conversely, when we come for inspections for licensing, the common gaps we see, for example, and I'd like to point out that the gaps can be different between rural areas and urban areas. When you go to the rural areas, they have less equipment. So when you come to urban areas like Accra, the facility even has more than enough equipment for some of them. Other things we've seen are, sadly, poor leadership. And this is very important because you can go to two health centers, about the same amount of resources. One looks terrible, one looks good, just because of the leadership. Because maybe they can't afford a cleaner, so they get somebody in the community to come and clean. So the gaps we see really do vary, but the most common things I'll say are not enough qualified professionals that are needed, not enough equipment, safety issues like fire extinguishers. A lot of them are expired. They don't have emergency exits. I could really go on and on.
Yeah,
the gaps are.
But beyond regulating the facility, do you also regulate the personnel, the individuals? No. You don't.
So the personnel are regulated by our sister agencies. So when you come to the doctors, they are being regulated by the Medical and Dental Council. The nurses and midwives are regulated by the Nursing and Midwifery Council. The laboratory technician and diagnosis, they are being regulated by Allied Health Professionals Council. And I think the pharmacists are being regulated by the Pharmaceutical Council. Yeah, I think I got it right.
Thank you so much. Now, the phone lines have been activated. We have a caller on the line. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Good morning. Please, your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello, good morning. Please, I'm just Andra Hills.
Okay. What's your take on today's discussion?
Please, I would like to make a contribution to the program that you're making.
Okay. Go ahead.
Please, I would like to tell your panel that they should recheck Amasamai Government Hospital and GAIC. The maternity is very, very bad, and they need to check that. I've had a really terrible experience about that a few months ago.
Hello. Okay. Thank you so much for that call. I think the same person sent a message here, and he said, please tell them they should recheck Amasaman Government Hospital and Ghana Atomic Hospital, known as GAEC, very bad and unhealthy hospital facilities. I have had a very bad experience with both facilities, and my wife and I really were traumatized. We are sorry about that. So that's a concern raised there.
And we do appreciate this, you drawing our attention. We will do our own independent verifications and take the need for action. So thank you very much for drawing our attention.
Thank you. So we have more comments coming in. This is a question actually, and it says, does HEFRA have enough trained inspectors and resources to implement this new fertility regulation framework effectively? So I think that has to do with the discussion we had earlier.
Fertility. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
you have
that's
enough men.
Yeah. We'll come to that. But let's Doc, you were on the floor. Sorry, madam. I'm promoting.
Hey, I have to go do PhD.
A PhD is coming, that's why.
I think you should say some, consoling message or words to this particular message you received because of the bad experience. Okay, we have another caller on the line. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. I'm Bismarck calling from Koko.
Okay. Bismarck, what do you have for us this morning?
Yeah, I said I'm Bismarck calling from Koko.
Bismarck, we can hear
Yeah,
you. Please
I
lower
would
your
like
TV
to ask,
set. Lower the
is
volume
there
of your
any
TV
health
set.
facilities who have been licensed that has nursing professionals that attend to nurses?
Bismarck, can you come again with your question? Hello, Bismarck. I think we lost Bismarck over there. But Madam Christabel, I was asking you to say something to
be.
Yeah.
I'm a Saman in Gayak. What I would guarantee, or what I can tell him for a fact, is that between today and tomorrow, a team will be dispatched to those facilities. And then we'll do an independent verification. And if anything untoward is there, be rest assured that we'll call them to order.
Thank you very much. Doc, let me come back to you. With this whole enforcement and inspection, don't you think the agency at a point gets overwhelmed with the number of facilities we have in the country, and therefore you should start thinking of collaborations with other agencies?
So the collaborations are already occurring.
Oh, okay.
Even as of yesterday, I was in a meeting with our registrar and then with Ghana Health Service. We collaborate across board. And you are right that sometimes resources can be scarce. But when we contact, for example, Ghana Health Service or Ministry of Health, they can give us vehicles, they can give us drivers, etc. So the collaboration is already occurring. As to getting overwhelmed, our work at HEFRA will never end until it will never end, because facilities will keep on coming. The ones who have licenses will get expired and need to be re-inspected. So it's an ongoing process, and it's what we do.
Okay. We have another comment here, and it says, has HEFRA digitalized the licensing system to cut down on human delays and possible corruption?
Yes.
Okay.
So HEFRA has actually gone digital. So I think the entire process from registration to licensing, the only time ordinarily there's supposed to be a human face or to it is at the inspection stage where the inspectors actually come to the facility to inspect the facility. But registration is done online, payment is done online. Then we now come to even for the inspection, you arrange for inspection online because you give your own date.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
that's what happens. So we arrange with it.
So that is different from the unannounced inspections.
The unannounced is monitoring.
Monitoring. Okay.
And that only happens after you have been
Madam,
licensed.
please hold on.
Okay.
We have a caller on the line. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
I'm Bismarck calling from Koko.
Okay, Bismarck, let's hear you.
Yeah, my question is that is there any health facilities who have been licensed that has professional nurses that attend to?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I get his question. Thank you, Bestmark. So he's saying that with accredited health facilities, is it all accredited health facilities that have professional nurses and midwives or health professionals over there?
Okay, so when we come to the facility, we come along with a checklist. And now it's digital, so you see us holding our tablets. That checklist has the minimum requirements for your staff, in addition to the other things we've spoken about. So we know that for this type of facility, like a polyclinic, how many doctors should you have? How many nurses should you have? So before we give you that license, you must meet those minimum requirements of staff.
Okay. We have a lot of comments coming in. Let me also read this. So this is also coming from HM Joe, and he says, how unique is your accreditation, and can you develop a short code for patients to verify? As a patient, what critical things should I look out for in any health facility? So there are two questions.
Okay. I'd just like to pause here and then differentiate between licensing and accreditation.
Okay.
I mean, the terms I know are used interchangeably by the public, but since we have a chance to educate, licensing means that you meet the minimum requirements needed to provide quality health care. Accreditation is about going above and beyond the minimum requirements.
Okay.
As we speak, we are developing some tools for accreditation, and we plan to roll it out very soon. So that, for example, a facility can be a 4-star facility in internal medicine or in surgery or in fertility. So going back to the suggestion about the short code, I think it's quite a good idea. We'll take it back with us and then go and discuss it. It's quite a good suggestion.
So I'll still go back to my earlier discussion on what we were talking about HEFRA's introduction of a new inspection tool. Now, some facility owners have come out to say that the inspection tools sometimes are cumbersome, like they are too much for them. They own the facility. I like the way you raise. So, are there ways to simplify these, regulations, inspection tools, and all that to make work easier for both parties?
I'm a little confused about the question because the tool is not used by the facility.
Oh, okay.
It's used by our inspectors. We show up with the tool and we ask the question. So maybe the person is saying that we are asking too many questions or looking for too many things.
Yes.
We are sorry, but we sat down with a lot of stakeholders and we came up with what is needed at a minimum to ensure that each and every patient is safe. And therefore, reducing that means compromising the quality of healthcare, and it's not something we can do.
Okay. Doc, I think you...
And Miriam, let me just add to what Doc said.
Okay.
For the new register that we have in HEFRA now, every morning before he talks or before he makes any comment, he will remind you that you have just one life to live. Once lost, you cannot get it back.
Yeah.
So for everything that we would do to ensure that that life is sustained, I don't think there's anything called too much or anything that we should describe as too much.
Yeah.
This is life.
Yeah. All right.
Dr. Abba will always remind you that you have only one life to live.
Yeah. So, Doc, I was saying that I asked two questions, but you answered one. The commenter has prompted me that the second one says, as a patient, what critical things should I look out for in a health facility when I get there? What are the critical things I need to see?
It's a very complicated question because it depends on the level of facility. There are lots of facility types. In fact, we have over 60 tools currently. What I'd say is that you want to just see that generally things look okay. So, for example, do they have the right tools to check your blood pressure? Is there a comfortable place to sit, etc., and etc.? You walk into some health facilities and you see cracks in the walls. You see dirt, you see mold. What that should tell you is that the management system of that facility is not good. If they can leave cracks on the wall, mold here, broken chairs, etc., it means that it's possible that medication errors will be made.
What if they are just paying attention to patients, without having the facility in mind. Maybe they are busy attending to so many patients. So I'm just being objective.
Yeah.
They forget to paint the building and keep the place neat.
We run healthcare as a management system. And the management system encompasses every aspect of it, from the minute you drive into the facility to when you go out or walk into the facility. So if you're going to the facility and you're seeing that things are not as they should be, it can serve as a red flag. If your facility has good management, to ensure that even if maybe resources are not there that much, they're going to ensure that at least when the patient comes, they have a comfortable experience. When you are sick, and we've all been sick before, we need a soothing environment. We need a comfortable place to go. We need to feel safe. And therefore, I wouldn't say it's right for a facility to leave the building to go into disrepair. Because then what else is in disrepair? Are your smoke detectors not working? Yeah. Is your sterilizer working? Or are instruments not really being sterilized? Or if the management system is good, all aspects of healthcare are good. And then vice versa. So it's a huge red flag.
Okay. And even to add to what Doc said, it's possible you can go to hospital with, let's say, a fracture in your arms. But by the time you are living with malaria, or better still, cholera, just because of the environment. So that is how come it's always important to maintain, whether the professionals we are interested, the environment. So when we come for inspection, we actually enter your washroom. Oh, okay. Yes, there are people who fail just because of washroom. Yeah. Yes, they fail. Yeah. Because somebody might think it's basic. And let me even add this. When we started, I think you started with that question where you said some people say, oh, we've come to inspect them, but then we've not yet given them a license, so it means it's our fault. I keep hammering this anytime I get the opportunity that inspection is not a guarantee that we are giving you license. Because when we are inspecting you, it's like an exams.
Oh, okay.
You would have to meet the standard. So the fact that you've been inspected doesn't mean that automatically we should give you a license. If we've not given you a license, it could be that you've not met the standards, for which reason you would have to go back and do your homework. So I'm telling facilities that some people fail just because of washrooms, because there was no tissue paper when we go to the washroom. Yes.
Okay. So I think I have a question here that relates to what you're saying. So when HEFRA finds a facility operating without a license, what exactly happens next? Is it just closure, or are there legal consequences for owners and practitioners?
It actually depends on the level of infraction.
Okay.
Yes. So if you're a facility, we enter that facility and then we realize that you may be doing everything right, but you just don't have a license. It's okay for us to fine you. You pay, we come to do inspection, and then we open it to the public. Okay. The facilities that we visited and they were operating with unprofessionals, oh no. It's a no-go area. We'll not just close it down. You'll be arrested. Okay. Because you're a threat. I don't know the number of people you've even killed out there. So for those ones, we hand them straight over to the police.
So we have another comment here, and it says, the hard truth is that some unlicensed facilities thrive because patients trust them more than the licensed ones. Maybe because of proximity, affordability, or perceived care. Does HEFRA see this as a regulatory failure or a public education problem?
So the public would trust a facility that is not licensed.
Because it is closer to them, because they can afford it.
So my question is, if the facility is doing right, why has the facility refused to come under regulation? Yeah. Whenever somebody withholds or draws back and doesn't want to come under regulation, it should actually be a red flag. You should know that that person is doing something wrong, because the truth is that requirements for getting a HEFA license is not difficult. It's at all. So that is how come we are very serious, because for anybody who decides not to get a HEFA license, then it means that there's something going wrong. Because it's not difficult to get a HEFA license. All we are looking out for is
the procedure.
The procedure.
If someone is just watching us and has intentions of, setting up a medical center, can you walk us through?
Okay, so first you go online, www.hefra.gov.gh. Okay. Then we have our online portal, which is the MOIS. So you go on MOIS and then you see the requirements. First, when you go on our website, you see our requirements. So suppose you want to set up a maternity, you would see the requirements for a maternity. The general requirements are the general requirements, these are requirements for all facilities. So one should have a company registration certificate, you should have a fire certificate, you should have an EPA certificate, and then of course your bank account details. And then the names and the pins. When I say pins, I mentioned earlier that we don't regulate the professionals. Okay. So then, depending on what you want to set up, you have to provide us with the pins. The pins are these are the codes. Are they called codes? Or that is what they are given to them by their professional bodies. That is the proof that they are actually regulated, or they are actually be certified to practice that profession. So you provide us with their pins. So those are the general requirements. So if you have those things and you're able to upload, when you have all those things, then you now go online, because we actually have the fees actually also on the page. So you know how much you're supposed to pay for registration. So again, we don't accept cash. So you go to the bank or you pay via Momo. When you pay, and then you are given a receipt which is generated electronically. With that, you have a code, or you are given something like a number, serial number. With that number, you're able to create an account on our portal. So again, you see, no human interface. So when you create that account, then now we now give you what we call the general requirements, because now we know what you are going into.
So it's very good that we stand here and end it here. Okay. So if they are interested, they should just log on to the website.
www.hefra.gov.gh.
Okay. So we know with every institution or organization there are challenges. Doc, let's touch on some challenges faced by HEFRA in terms of regulations or inspections. General challenges.
So I'm glad you're giving me this platform.
So we just have 5 minutes more.
No, the platform is because, for example, one of our challenges is not enough vehicles for our activity. So if there's a donor out there who is feeling generous, please come to us.
And is passionate about
healthcare and the quality of healthcare. We would be very happy to have your support.
Okay. Yeah. Just one challenge.
You want me to go into all the...
Give us 3.
Oh, you want 3 challenges? Okay. So apart from the vehicle...
Sponsorship,
the vehicle,
train our assessors.
Yes. So we need to train our assessors.
Okay.
We recently put out a call for assessors, and we have been sorting through them, and we are training them in batches. Once again, funding. It would be lovely to have funding so that we can take time and really train them. Even though we do train them now, we wish we could train even more. The third challenge would be, I would say, public education, which we are going to touch on. Sometimes the facilities really don't get it, honestly. They don't get why, for example, I come to your facility and you are cleaning instruments with just chlorine, and I'm asking for an autoclave. Yeah. They don't actually get it. So we do realize that we need to put that education out there. So I'll say those are the top 3 challenges.
Okay. Madam, let me ask you this very interesting question. Do you have a uniform? When you're going on inspections, do you wear a uniform to identify you as, because we know previously our town councils, and when they are coming, they are in uniforms, and do you do something like that?
We don't have uniforms, but then they have to go with an ID card.
ID card.
And then a letter from the board or signed by the registrar. So nobody should walk into your facility to say, I'm coming to do inspection, when you've actually not verified that letter from the registrar, because it is an authorized exercise. And then you look at the ID card, because the ID card should also be signed by our registrar, not just any ID card.
So looking forward, what should we expect from HEFRA in our years to come? Aside we knowing that you are coming for unlicensed facilities.
Our passion for now is to ensure that all facilities are in compliance, because that is the only way we would know that you are doing the right thing in your facility. So please look out for us ensuring that all facilities are in compliance, because we actually want them to render quality healthcare to every citizen of Ghana, or everyone living in Ghana, not only citizens. Yeah.
You didn't add that you're coming for them.
But they're coming for them. We started. We are coming for them.
Let's take your last words. That's your camera. Say something to our viewers and those unlicensed health facilities still operating.
So I would just say a general word to our public. We need to take this as a collective responsibility to ensure that all healthcare facilities are duly licensed. You may think that a facility in the north won't affect your life, but you never know when your family member will be there, or your child or your parent will be there. So when you see something, say something. If you realize a facility is not operating as it should be, contact us and let us know so that we can do our checks, and together we can make the healthcare in Ghana much, much, much better.
In terms of contact, do you have a number, a common number, not a personal number?
Yeah.
To disturb you. A common number, and then maybe social media, anywhere we can get access.
So for the contacts, we have 025 610 8267. I'll go right. 025 610 8267. It's also a WhatsApp number. We have a channel as well. That's the Health Facilities Regulatory Agency channel.
On WhatsApp?
Yes, on WhatsApp. So you follow us on that channel as well. And on Facebook, again, we are HEFRA. That's Health Facilities Regulatory Agency, then into brackets HEFRA.
Okay.
IG HEFRA.
Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Christabel Eyram Noho, who is the head of public relations at HEFRA. And we also have Dr. David Eko Aku. He's also the head of inspections at HEFRA. They were our guests for today as we discussed ensuring safe and quality healthcare in Ghana, the role of HEFRA. I hope you've been informed, educated, and in a way entertained. It wasn't a boring conversation. And so thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for bringing in your comments as well. We really appreciate. And we'll be doing the same thing, having insightful conversations here on the Koko Digest Morning Show. Come your way next Tuesday. I am Miriam Abena Adedi.